anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours.
Yay.
All right, it's amazing how little acts of kindness can make your day, right? Simple stuff like holding the door open for someone, saying thank you, picking up something that someone else dropped, or, as was the case earlier today, someone paying for your drink at Starbucks. This actually happened to me this morning. A guy named Jason, he bought my venti caramel ribbon crunch frappuccino for me because he likes the show. That's it. Decided, hey, man, let me do that for it. And it makes your day. And I appreciated that, my man.
Fart all
Thank
over
you.
him, he said.
Yeah. But it's things like that that restore your faith in humanity. Now, on the other hand, if you work or have worked in customer service in any form, there's a good chance that you've developed a healthy hatred of the general public. How could you not? I mean, look, it's not that everyone sucks, but the customers that do suck, they tend to suck real good. I'll share a few headlines with you to drive the point home. Taco Bell worker slapped by angry customer. They were mad, you see, because they'd taken their food home and reheated it in the microwave while it was still wrapped in foil. Woman angry about missing chicken strip runs over store manager's leg. That was after spitting in the manager's face. Walmart greeter beaten by angry customer over receipt check. You know that thing they do to everyone when you're physically leaving the store? Woman claims daughter became pregnant by wearing underwear purchased online. She's even threatening to sue, which frankly would be interesting. And finally, Texas Lyft driver forced to drive to Florida. He had to drive 1,300 miles at gunpoint. Now, these are unfortunately only a very, very, very small sample of the headlines involving terrible customers, and that's what we're talking about today. Whether you had to deal with them or if you simply witnessed one of these spoiled dumbasses that we call customers nowadays, this is what we want to know. When it comes to work, who is the worst customer or person you had to deal with?
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All the tolls, away we go. Welcome to season 19, episode number 4,201. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat, the exciting return of Ted versus the FCC. What a late night Steve and I had last night, coming up with some tongue twisters for you, Ted. Lo and behold, we got an update as we came into work this morning. First of all, you do not have to do Ted versus the FCC.
Yeah.
As Steve Miggs will join us because he was the loser in our fantasy football challenge. The Who team, his team sucks. I mean, they are bad. So, but either way, it doesn't matter. If Steve wins, good for you. It goes in the win column. If he does not, unfortunately for you, it does go into your loss column for the year.
All right. Let's take your backup quarterback, man. Yeah, the team's you live and die by him, right?
That's right. So
Yeah, I guess.
a loser-inspired.
Ted should be a coach one day. I can imagine the press conference. Well, you put in your backup. He didn't have a great game. Yeah.
A loser-inspired
I just don't know that
Ted versus
his
the
winner
FCC.
losses. He's already gotten me one loss.
He has gotten you a
Okay,
loss.
yeah, that's a fact.
Well, hey, man, you got injured again. He's back out on the field.
He's lost before. Maybe he will lose or could win again. We'll find out coming up with Ted versus the FCC. Also, a reminder, Malcolm just told you, but if you happen to listen to KISW this afternoon or tonight with the lovely Jolene for just 1 hour, you will be entered to win your share of $5,000 as we fall into $5K a day. So if you listen to the Odyssey app, be sure that you sign in. You listen for 1 hour. That automatically registers you every day. So we're giving $5,000 away every single day.
Until we run out of money.
That's exactly right. So all you have to do is listen for 1 hour on that deal. What else do we have? Oh, we have Disturbed tickets. Our last, Jolene's got one more pair. These are our last pair of tickets for you to check out Disturbed, May 5th, Climate Pledge Arena. What they told us to do is they said, hey, you pick a time and give a secret code word. Mm-hmm. And then when you hear that word, you text it to 206-803-ROCK. We have picked the time The time today will be 4:20.
Oh, did not see that coming, man.
4:20. Yes, that's exactly right. Your chance to get tickets to Disturbed. We'll give you the code word. You text that into 206-803-ROCK. Once again, 4:20 is the time. And I'll say we've been giving tickets away for the last 2 weeks. I have not missed a time. I am 9 for 9.
Why bring it up? Why being cocky? You just said, okay.
Because I'm nailing it.
We're getting all the green lights.
I'm nailing
That's
it.
what you just
missed
did.
a kick in 2 weeks.
I'm nailing this today. So 4:20 is the time for the code word. What else do we have going on? Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. Live day tickets went on sale this morning at 10. If you want to join us, Friday night, December 13th at Showbox Soto. KISW once again doing live night. Everything live. The show will be broadcast live. Live studio audience. You guys will be involved in the show. New originals will be on stage. All the commercials, all the sound effects, every single thing you hear will be live on stage that night. So those tickets went on sale. KISW.com is where you can pick up those tickets. But wait, there's more.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not done. We've got this much stuff going on. Monday at 4:30, we have a very special announcement concerning our beer and Black Raven Brewing. So you'll want to stick around for that. And I know for a fact that eventually this involves a little bit of a party. So not only are we going to hook up once again with the fine folks at Black Raven, but that gives us a great excuse to drink beer and throw another party. So we have an announcement coming up for you at 4:30.
God, what was the term?
On Monday.
Just a flinch? A fetch? What was it? What's bigger than a herd?
Filch?
A filch. No.
No.
Definitely
Because
not.
it was a drink, so it was a fink. A flink.
A flink.
A flink.
I'm going to drink a flink of
Yes.
the beer.
We're going to have a flink or two of beer. Also coming up today, it is the weekend. We will drink and toast in the weekend with a shot of the day. That's Bad Choice Friday.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
And today's spooky, a mysterious dealer's choice, Bad Choice Friday. We're doing it again. Here's the deal, all right? So basically, you just pick one member of the show, Miles, Steve, Ted, or Mike. That is up right now if you follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live. Each member of the program has picked their own song. Now, we do not know the songs that each of us have individually picked.
Except Mike.
Well, Mike knows because he's the one who put the music into the system.
Correct.
But none of us know what Mike picked. We don't know what each other picked. But either way, we all picked our own little special song. Now, the last time we did this, the Ted Smith squeaked out on the voting, and
Correct.
his song was played, Born in the USA from Bruce Springsteen.
And what did you say, Ted? Someone was irritated because they voted for you because they just assumed it'd be rap.
Correct.
Well, don't make assumptions. It was not rap. It was Bruce Springsteen.
Actually, that's why we are not playing snippets of the songs. Simply because I think you could probably do the quick math on what each member of the program picked. You could at least
Are you
have your
sure?
You could have an assumption.
Because Born in the USA is not what I was expecting rap.
Yeah, that was the
but-
song I hated the most off that album, and maybe Springsteen's career. I would have never picked that song. That's why I picked Rick Astley, but that did not make the cut.
I think the only one I slid by people in the men's room channel was that Operator song.
That makes sense. I would not have pegged you for that.
Right. So just pick a member of the show that you think has maybe picked the best song, and we'll get to the voting, and whoever wins the voting, that song will be played coming up after we drink a toast with the shot of the day. So that's coming up. And today on the question, we're going to talk about work. You don't necessarily today need to bring up where you worked, or you don't have to throw an employee or anything like that under the bus, or if you so choose. I mean, that's up to you. But ultimately, it's more about the interaction with a person.
Yeah.
We've all had horrible interactions with people in a working environment at some point in time in our life, whether we were 16 years old or whether we were 56 years old. It doesn't matter. People can be asses. Now, granted, a lot of the times, everyone's going to have a bad day. But in certain situations, you know when someone is just constantly a pain in the ass to deal
for
with.
sure.
You know, and those are the people that drive you absolutely insane in any kind of work environment, including your coworkers. Coworkers, customers, people who you've worked with, people that you know. There's just a bunch of asses out there. We could run down headlines on this topic
Forever.
for the entire show without taking one phone call.
I actually, like this morning, so I'm pulling up stories for this, right? And you start doing your quote-unquote research, and then I put them all in an email and email it to myself. I just had to stop. I think I had 18 stories. I'm like, you're not even going to get to all 18. And keep in mind, that was maybe 1/10 of all of the available stories to remind you of what bad customers are. And sadly, the bulk of them seem to be at fast food restaurants.
Sure.
And out of the fast food restaurants, it's 50-50 drive-through or actually inside of the restaurant. Target and Walmart, I feel bad for you if you work there, man. Fine stores. I don't know what goes on with the customers. I don't know what could possibly happen at Target or Walmart to make people so angry, but
lose their mind. Well, look, we could just do it locally. To be honest with you, we could just talk about situations that happened here in Seattle locally where customers just lost their mind for whatever reason. And one of the ones that kind of went more viral and then kind of made national news was a local barista who was working, and I believe she might have been the owner of the stand.
I think she's the owner as well.
But a customer pulled up in line, and I believe there were 2 drinks. They looked like they were cold drinks because they were in a clear cup. But the customer gets the drinks. I don't know what his deal was. He stepped outside, opened his door at the drive-thru. He's at the window, and he takes both of the coffees, and he throws them open lid through the window at the barista. Now, the next part of the video you see is the barista coming out of the window. She has a hammer, and she basically just takes the hammer, and she smashes the dude's windshield in.
And she should have.
And for the most part, everyone thought that she was justified in her actions. I did not read any comment.
Everybody was like,
one
negative
good
comment.
For you, honey. Good for you.
The only thing that I
deal with
disagree
that jackass,
you had a hammer. Why didn't you hit him? Because look, his car didn't cause the problem. He did. And I'm very selective about that. You go after the thing that caused the problem. See, you hit him with the hammer. He won't cause problems. He can replace his windshield, safe flat repair, safe flat replace, drive right back, and be a D again. But I'm telling you, you lay a hammer in homeboy's head, he's not going to mess with you again. And he might not even be a crappy customer. Again, just thinking, man, I don't like getting hit in the face with a hammer. Maybe I shouldn't do this. That's the only gripe that I give her. You missed the target. Beat his ass. Don't worry about his car. Beat his ass. Or pull him out of the car and beat his ass. Any 7-Eleven I go into, if I am there for 2 minutes, there is an issue. And the time it takes me to walk in, grab a Gatorade, and stand in line, something goes sideways. And inevitably, the guy at the cash register is screaming at the customer, and God only knows what their deal is. But it does not matter. There's one 7-Eleven I know of that I can go into where there are not problems.
Oh, my God. Even the one. I know the family who runs the one by my place. They're wonderful people. They have had horrible things happen to family members there.
Didn't somebody just get shot? Or
no, they got beaten up pretty bad. Two guys I know, 2 brothers, by a guy who was just out of his mind. I mean, to be honest with you, if you said, would you rather spend one day on an Alaskan fishing boat, just one day, or would you rather work one 10-hour shift at 7-Eleven? I would seriously consider getting on a plane or jumping on a boat in Ballard and doing my one day on the Bering Sea.
I'd take the fishing boat. I'd do a day, Jim.
I mean, serious. Because for whatever reason, I just think that there's a better chance of me not getting involved in a bad situation on a fishing boat, more so than working a 10-hour shift at the local 7-Eleven because of the customers.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree. And look, on the fishing, but you might not like everyone you're with, but you're working together, you have a common goal. 7-Eleven, I don't know what happens, but as soon as the door goes ding, I feel like even if you were a sane person, I don't know, something just snaps in your head and like, you know what? This is the moment to be an egregious a-hole for no real identifiable reason. To me, that's what separates 7-Eleven from the other places, right? So, Wendy's, I understand you may have wanted the chili. They ran out of chili, and then you have your overreaction, but we go, chili is a trigger. 7-Eleven, like, nothing happened. Yeah. You just came in looking for trouble.
So 7-Eleven has a brand new potato chip. It's called the Big Bite Special Limited Edition chip. And basically what it is...
Wait, what? For real?
Yes. It's a Big Bites Special Edition potato chip. So it's a potato chip that tastes like a hot dog that's loaded. Okay, look, I just wanted to try the chip, okay? We have a 7-Eleven, I swear to God, 2 blocks from here. I was outside smoking, and I'm thinking to myself, should I just go down there and get the chips and we're going to try one? And ultimately, I'm like, I'm not doing it. No. I am not going down there.
Not that one.
And buying those chips.
No, that's the worst 7-Eleven.
That's what I thought. I could get it somewhere else. I'll do it at a different location.
There's plenty of 7-Elevens, but you're right. The good and bad of 7-Eleven is they're open.
They're convenient.
They also, they let anybody in.
Right.
And I'm with you. Even just normal days at any 7-Eleven you've been to, there's just strange characters.
And you don't know why. So our buddy Bert, right, at the water hole. Yeah. So this guy Bert that we know from the bar, he works within close proximity to where we work. So that 7-Eleven is kind of dead center between us.
Oh.
Just bring it up to him one day just to hear his response.
All right.
Hey, Bert, man, you ever go to the 7-Eleven? F no, man.
They got, go to that place. There are 2 things I want. They got Cinnamon Toast Crunch Bugles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they've got the Big Bite potato chips. So those are the 2 bags I was going to pick up. So we could just come in here and have some snacks.
But it's not worth it. It is not worth it.
I know that. I'm well aware.
It's Why? Like, it's
Dude,
just,
I told you, even the one that I grew up with, right? Like, I'm sure there's a bunch of 7-Elevens in College Park. But I lived in technically what you would call the Hollywood section, right? So it's just like, you know how those neighborhoods are. So we would always go to that same 7-Eleven, and I was in there once getting a candy bar, being a fat kid, and these two brothers are going at it. I mean, like all-out fist fight in the store. The one dude's huge. So the guy behind the counter, he's going to call the cops. I'm at the counter. Got to get this candy bar.
it's
One giant brother walks over and, literally rips the phone just out of the cord, out of the thing, and, throws it. I pay for my candy bar and leave. But, the look on that guy's face. What am I going to do? But you're right. I don't know. I guess it's just because anybody can go in there. They're always open. But it's not 7-Eleven's fault at all.
No, nothing to do with it. The mistake they made was being open.
Right.
That's the only mistake 7-Eleven made. It was like, no, dude, we'll keep the doors open. I cannot believe they still do. Even when it's not the customers. I was at a 7-Eleven in Baltimore. I'm working at Chi-Chi's. I finished my shift. It's maybe 11:30 at night. I'm walking home. I go in. There's no one in the 7-Eleven except the cashier, right? Big brother. We're having a fine conversation, but he keeps looking toward the door. And when you look out there's one car in the parking lot, the headlights are on, and there's 3 guys in there. But as best I can tell, keep in mind, this is next to a college. So either they're trying to figure out the money situation, they're not up to no good, but it just made the guy behind the counter uncomfortable. So I think I'm buying a pack of cigarettes, and he says, hang on 1 second, brother. Okay, so keep in mind, before he's going to ring me up, he has made the decision to confront these guys. And he pulls a .38 from behind the counter, right? And nothing is happening.
It's like the Royal Farms.
This was the 7-Eleven, but
oh my God.
And dude walks toward the door, kicks it open, and just profanity-laced, top of his lungs tirade at these 3 dudes that, honest to God, I don't think they had plans to do anything. You better get the F out of here. And he's got the gun, aiming it at the car, man. These guys throw it in reverse. They haul ass out of there. They drive off. So it's just me and the 7-Eleven. He walks back in. He's just kind of shaking his head. Whew. Sorry about that, brother, man. You just never know. I was like, can I get a pack of Marlboro Reds?
Oh, my God. When I was working...
nothing happened and still something happened.
When I was working the morning show in Baltimore, the D.C. sniper and his partner were basically parked all night, every night, in that parking lot. That's where they...
7-Eleven?
At the 7-Eleven.
Oh, man.
I walked in there every single morning and got a coffee. I parked by that car 5 days a week.
Was your mind blown when they finally revealed...
They were out on the run for about 2 weeks.
Right, when they finally showed you who it was and vehicle they were on, were you like, I have parked next to these guys a couple of days a week for the last however long?
I did not realize that until I read it in the story.
Right.
And then I saw the vehicle and I was like, oh my God.
Jesus, man.
Oh my God. I mean it right there. Our question when it comes to work, who was the worst person or customer that you've ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
For most people, finding out the KFC is out of corn, well, I'll get something else. Not for one customer in St. Louis. It was reason enough to shoot somebody.
Jeez.
According to police, 25-year-old male employee was shot in the abdomen 6 p.m. Monday at the KFC in the Central West End. Police say the man threatened workers when he tried to place a drive-thru order and was told they were out of corn. So the man pulled out a handgun when he pulled up to the drive-thru window, and he shot a worker who had gone outside to talk to him. The employee was hospitalized, but he has been released from the hospital. They're still looking for the man, described to be between 40 and 50 years old with a thin build, a scruffy beard, and still looking for corn.
And really likes corn.
Our question when it comes to work, who is the worst person or customer that you've ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
Before we get to the phones, we were talking about 7-Eleven and the magical oddness that seems to go on there. So this text comes in. It says, one day at 7-Eleven, a lady with a ponytail, she was paying, and a random guy walked into the store, pulled out a knife, cut her ponytail off, and walked out of the store. That's it. That's a 7-Eleven story for you.
Damn.
You don't hold up the place. You didn't threaten anyone. You cut off a woman's ponytail. Because he's crazy, Ted. That is
right.
exactly what.
Just
That's a 7-Eleven story if I've ever heard one. Hello, Aiden. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola.
How are you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Positive Friday.
Hell yeah.
Positive Friday.
So, Aiden, who is the worst customer or person you've ever had to deal with?
One of my first jobs was Little Caesars, and when I worked there, let me tell you, there was a lot of interesting people that came into that. They came into that store, but one of the worst people I ever had to deal with, and I say this as nice as I can, it was a couple of tweakers. And by couple, it was obviously a female and a male, and they were together. But when they tried to order their pizza, I can tell you right now, they literally, both of them, could not say any coherent word. But with the amount that I worked there and the amount of time that I spent working with pizza, I was able to kind of figure out what they wanted, and I was able to tell. Like, they said one thing, and I went, okay, so you want this. And they went, yes, that's exactly what I want. So it took me a bit to figure out exactly what they wanted. But out of all the people that I had to serve, I would say those two people were one of the worst, because it took me a bit to try and figure out what was going on, and then finally just decide I was going to practically make the order for them. And luckily enough, I guess exactly what they wanted, and I was able to get them out of the store as soon as possible. But the funniest part about it is my coworkers, they saw them come into the store, and they looked at me, and they did the no-nos goes, and they looked at me and went, that's all you, buddy.
I got to ask, what did they want? Order-wise.
They wanted a regular pepperoni pizza with...
I knew it.
Once again, Metro Colors, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
Pretty sure they don't call it that on the menu.
With the effing...
Yeah.
So here's my
The
question,
effing
though.
deep dish.
Do you honestly think you got them exactly what they wanted, or did you just get them a hot pizza and that's what they wanted?
They were fine.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Because they come in,
look,
they're not coherent.
They're not being rude to you. They're not insulting you. They're not throwing
incoherent.
stuff at you. They've obviously paid for the meal for you to start making it. So if that's the worst you got to deal with, I consider that getting off light.
Yeah, man. I got it. Did
Yeah,
pizza
but
for a couple
tweakers,
of
man,
years.
you just never know with them.
You don't know, but if in the end nothing happened, you go like, oh,
Okay.
that was a fine tweaker experience. I never had like...
That was a fine tweaker experience.
We
Positive tweakers.
They're another one. Their stuff is so cheap. I feel like you could run into an issue there.
yeah, for sure.
Don't they have hot and ready pizzas?
That's the other thing,
I
right?
just would have pointed at one of the boxes on the counter. Like, if I'm in that state of mind, just give me that.
Yeah, I mean, forget like tweakers. You have to imagine drunk people go in there and do exactly what Miles was saying, just like crazy bread.
We would, there was a place I worked back in Baltimore years ago. We made pizza. Actually, we made very good pizza, but we stayed open until 3 a.m., which sucked because we were in a very bar-heavy area. It'd be like working in Pioneer Square, right?
All right.
So at 2 a.m., man, bars close and everybody's hungry, and pizza is a great thing to get. So we knew between 2 and 3 we're going to get absolutely slammed. And we did. No big deal. You know what's going to happen. But the owner, lady out front, she does the register. Me and this guy called Squirrel, for reasons I will not tell you, we're working in the back. And we show the customers, maybe you walk up to the counter, make your order, then you wait. And everyone's loud and everyone's happy because they're drunk, right? Well, these two guys come in. We know that they have not been into the store yet, but they're playing. And I get it. When you're young, it's a pretty solid plan because it almost worked. They go up to the cashier and they start bitching like, hey, man, we ordered a pizza like 40 minutes ago, blah, 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 blah. She's like, I'm sorry. So she puts a rush on their pizza and sends it back to us. So me and Squirrel are like, man, I get what they're doing. We know damn well these guys hadn't come in. And the reason we were annoyed is because they were making a scene about it, right? She agreed, free of charge, whatever it is. So they wait for the pizza, and we see them high-fiving and chuckling in the back. So, no problem, man. So let's make their pizza. He goes, for real? I said, yeah, absolutely. So we get the dough. We spread it out. Took about half a box of kosher salt, dumped it on there. Every anchovy we could find, dumped it on there. A couple other choice ingredients that may or may not be poisonous. Covered it with sauce, cheese, the pepperonis they wanted up top. Put it in the oven, cook it, cut it, put it in the box. Off they go, right? And they're delighted with themselves. We get back to work. We're doing our thing. So now it's the end of the night. It's maybe 20 minutes later. We're going to take the trash out. Open the front door. There's a tree next to this building. Directly next to the tree, there are three things. There is one slice of pizza with one bite taken out, some partially chewed up food that had been spat out of her mouth sitting next to that, and then a mostly full pizza box sitting next to that. We're like, yeah, job well done.
When it comes to work, who was the worst person or customer you ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Pam. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, Hola, bichuelas.
Hola.
This is your biggest dummy, Pam.
Oh,
Pam. How you been?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We're doing good. Positive Friday there, Pam.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I believe I should get a T-shirt for being the biggest dummy this long.
I mean,
Well,
I'm going to be honest with you, man, right now, because, you know, we update it every year. And since we've been doing that, Pam, I think so far you might be the longest tenured
Yeah, you
biggest
might
dummy.
be 4 or 5 months deep on this.
I don't know that that's
I became
celebratory.
the biggest dummy in January.
So I don't know if it's a prideful thing, though, Pam.
What, you said you got it in January?
Yeah.
Oh, it's longer than that then. Sorry.
Wow.
10 months.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so I worked at a store where literally everything was $1. I don't need to say the name. So 15 minutes before closing, this lady came up. She goes, well, you're going to be mad. I have a few go-backs. Go-backs are things I have to put away before I can leave. She takes 50 things out of her cart. I ring her up, $100 and some. She goes, oh, you're going to be mad. I only have 150. I have to void the whole thing out. She takes another 50 things out of her cart, and I have to re-ring the whole thing. Now, mind you, I have to put all this away before I go home.
No, wait a minute.
In 15
She
minutes.
knows she has $150
Right.
to spend.
But so far she's gotten $200, basically $50 worth
Yeah.
of stuff so far.
And it's the
Yeah.
place,
She
like
can't
you
count.
said, every thing there is $1. So the exception
Yeah.
of sales tax, which is very easy to calculate in
Exactly.
Washington State, she still put that many items in there.
Yes, and I'm sorry, she was one of those Mexican Americans.
Well,
What does that have to do?
Yeah, Pam. I mean, that doesn't matter.
Tweakers will spend a lot of time in the aisles.
Oh, tweakers will
Oh,
spend a lot.
okay, I got you. I'll
yeah,
tweak her.
Mexican. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, math.
Math.
Okay.
All right. I was like,
Yeah, we thought you
Jesus,
said
Pam.
Mexican. That's what I was
Yeah, I was
like.
like,
we didn't
what the hell
even
does
know.
that have to do?
No.
Math.
Oh, okay.
Much different. Okay.
Mexican.
I got you.
All right. When it comes to work, who is the worst person or customer you ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
That's twice I've been caught off guard today.
Yeah,
It's the first guy said, well, I don't want to say it, but they were, and I just thought he was going racial. Then he's like, on meth. I was like, oh, okay.
I don't want to say that. Why wouldn't you want to say that?
Yeah, so you just be like, they're on meth.
That's not really surprising here.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
It's more surprising when they're not on meth. I would actually, if you work at 7-Eleven, just try to, keep a little scratch count of everyone that walks into your store who you do not believe is under the influence of something. Booze, meth, heroin, whatever. Just how many people, like what percentage of your customer base is completely sober when they walk in, excluding the morning when you got construction guys going in there?
Right.
Other than them, like the rest of your day, I'm saying it's maybe 15% of the people that roll in there.
Well, that market I used to go to in Belltown all the time, like they had a bunch of issues, right?
Yeah.
But it was bigger than like a 7-Eleven, but it wasn't like a grocery store, right?
Right.
But you could actually get like some produce or whatever. But that was the thing for them in the mornings, the heroin junkies, right? Like, I don't know how the science works, but basically you want sugar
Okay.
if you're not high. So like in the morning, it was amazing. There'd just be a line of people with bags of chips, ice cream, and sodas
Ah, yes, the breakfast of champions.
every morning.
Well, it's always good to know one method, I think.
Why is that?
Just in case you drop something on the ground, you can't find it.
There you go. They're always looking down.
Yeah, they can find anything. You know what I mean? Because they drop everything. So, like, he's like, man, I'm pretty sure it's in this vicinity.
Yeah, what is it with meth where you pull something out of your pocket?
But you can never hold on to it,
It's on the floor.
somewhere.
The money, change, you can't anything.
Yeah.
If you pull it out of your pocket, like just why don't you just leave it on the floor and pick it up when you need it?
And they always got little tiny trinkets.
They like
Right,
odd
like they
little
start
things.
pulling stuff out. It's like this little piece of paper. It's like a fortune from a fortune cookie from who knows when. It's like, why do you have that?
And seriously, you don't have to crumple dollar bills. Like it is not legally required that you crumple them into a ball, and then when you're paying for this thing, you have to uncrumple all 7 of your dollars.
It's origami.
Yeah.
When it comes to work, who was the worst person or customer that you ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Rose. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichuelas.
Hola.
All right. So my story is, I've owned my business since about 2004 when I was 24 years old. And I had a longtime client who had been with me since about 2008-9, a really loyal client, supported my business a whole bunch. And then when Farron got sick, of course, I had to stop working. 2 weeks after Farron died, she showed up at my house asking me if I could give her a mani and pedi before her vacation because since my divorce and all the time off of work, I surely could use the money since I hadn't been working.
Oh, did you do it for her?
Oh, absolutely not. She, you do know, I said, I'm standing there on my porch. I said, you know Farron died, right? And she goes, oh, yeah, I heard about that. And I was like, so you didn't come over to give condolences? You came over to ask for services? She goes, well, this vacation's really important, and I just figured since, you've had no income, especially since you're divorced, that, you could probably use some money.
Just one more nail in there for you. One more dagger. Yeah, since your husband left you for a younger, better-looking woman and took all the money.
I just told her, well, I went through my divorce in the middle of Farron being sick, so, I wasn't working for a long time before the divorce, and then, of course, after that. And then I just told her, I said, you know what? I don't need your money. I don't want your money, and you'll never set foot in my spot ever again.
Yeah,
that's awful.
How did she know where you live?
We had become close over the course of about 14 years, and, I knew where she lived. She had hired me to come over and help her with some holiday parties at her big, expensive place on Fox Island. And, so over time, sometimes you become friends with your clients.
Sure,
so,
especially when you know what their vagina looks like. Hey, I know what
I don't think it's that unheard of.
Hey.
Like I went out with a girl who was an esthetician. Like sometimes she would just have some clients she knew just come by her place and just do it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But typically not at the time that your situation was.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's
But yeah, she thought it was more appropriate to ask if I could give her services for a vacation than offer me condolences or even contribute to the GoFundMe that was set up to help me while I was taking care of Farron.
Did you point that part out when she said, because you could use the money? Like, you're right. That's why I set up a GoFundMe.
Yes, and she said, well, I've supported your business.
Okay.
But I set up a GoFundMe.
I will never
working because my child has leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
I will never wax your catcher's mitt again.
And make sure you call it the catcher's mitt.
When it comes to work, who was the worst person or customer you ever had to deal with? 206-803-RON.
Hello, Jacob. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey there.
Hola.
Hola. So I'm a general contractor. So right there, that should probably say that I deal with some unhappy people sometimes, or very particular people.
Sure. Yeah.
But
funny is my story involves a general contractor.
All right.
Yeah.
I am currently seeking legal aid, I guess.
Uh-oh.
For a situation. The customer is a retired pilot, and he wants everything within a 32nd of an inch.
Okay.
So it has become very troublesome. The job has actually taken almost a year now, and I'm about to walk away from it. They're gone right now. Monday, I'm going to go speak with them again, and I'm about to lose $10,000.
I was going to say, have they paid you? Have they kept up on that?
They want me to forfeit my final 10%, which is about $10,000.
Why? What is the reason?
So you did $100,000 worth of whatever you did, and they're trying to nickel and dime you down to the last payment.
Yep, and even though I've done, this is the fourth project I've done for them too. It's a repeat customer.
Really?
Well, hopefully not anymore.
So what do they say? Obviously, if they've hired you 3 times previous, they think you do good work or good enough for them. So what is the issue this time?
Once again, it comes down to how particular the homeowner is, and a 16th of an inch isn't good enough for him.
Cock it. Just cock it. Seriously, man. Cock it. Held it.
A tile job is what it comes down to.
Ground it. I mean, whatever. Oh, you mean as far as gapping?
Yes.
Oh my God in heaven. All right. I mean, they that anal where they're, is it that noticeable?
I was going to say, does it ruin any other aesthetic?
It would never be noticeable. It would never be noticeable in the end.
All right. Okay. That's what I kind of figured.
He's sitting there and, he's got his phone out, how good these phones are, and he's 6 inches away from it, zoomed in 100 times, and sending me pictures of it, and just,
Yeah, at some point, man, just walk away.
Yeah.
Like, just eat the cost and, look, I can't help you.
When it comes to work, who is the worst person or customer that you've ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday gifts for the kids, like arts, crafts, games, and tech. You'll have money left over for some new board games to boost the kids' confidence. You won again. Or that multi-voice changing megaphone so you can really spread the cheer.
Holidays.
Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
We know what they really want this holiday. The perfect pleasure present from Lovers. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and grab something to satisfy yourself, too. Lovers has all the toys and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for the hottest holiday gifting. Mention presents for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Hey, what's the easiest way to find out what channel the game's on? Sports on What? Subscribe to the Sports on What app and quickly find the channel for every provider. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Download today.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up, we'll drink a toast of the weekend with a shot of the day. Then it's Bad Choice Friday time.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
Damn on. And today, a mystery dealer's choice men's room Bad Choice Friday. Each member of the show has picked our own song. We do not know what the other member has picked. However, if you follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live, the poll is up there. Pick the member of the show that you think has the best tune. As far as the voting, Ted, how are we looking right now as far as whose song will possibly be played after the shot of the day?
Well, Thrill's out there. He's got a good lead.
He does.
Started with a dead heat with Thrill and I again, and now
That's the way it was last week, and I lost it again.
You did.
Sure.
You got a pretty sizable lead, though.
All right.
Look, Mike's at 14. Miles is at 20. I'm at 24.
Okay.
You're at like 42.
Hopefully your song does not suck. That's why you need to vote for myself or Mike.
Well, I don't think it does.
I can guarantee you Great Time's a very positive Friday, positive song.
Is that right?
I can. This was approved by Castle. He walked in and said, what are the songs? I told him what mine is. And he was like, that's a great song. Like, he was jazzed about it.
Mike,
he never says that either.
Yeah.
No,
last week I had the Rick Astley. I was going to Rickroll everybody if they picked me.
Yeah, you were.
Okay. But I was pondering. Yeah, I was thinking about stuff like, When the Children Cry from White Lion. Or Tears in Heaven, from Clapton. Cats in the Cradle, Harry Chapin. Just something absolutely awful for Friday afternoon.
Oh, for sure.
But I didn't. I went with a better song. I went with a real banger today.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know if I believe you, but
yeah,
sure.
I feel like you had to fight your inner demons there.
I did.
That's all right. My buddy did that one night.
What's that?
He was like, oh, yeah, I put this song on the jukebox. And I was like, that's not funny, dude. He's like, well, it was funny to me. I said, well, I'm glad you laughed. You killed the whole mood of that bar.
Or the whole bar just
Because
came
it was
down.
something like he's saying, like just one of those down-tempo, just like...
Tearjerker. What's the Christmas song that everyone cries about?
Oh, the Christmas shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids trying to buy shoes for his dead mom.
That would be
Or she's dying. It's awful.
Yeah, one of those.
Why would you write a song about that in the first place?
We know it.
Keep it to yourself,
We
man.
know the song, so obviously...
I don't know it.
But don't try to reason this out.
I know of it because Ted had brought it up before, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Then we played a snippet. I honestly don't remember the song, and I'm glad I don't, because much like Old Yeller, I don't need to relive that.
Yeah. So vote now. Follow us on Twitter, Men's Room Live. Pick myself, Steve, Ted, or Mike, and we don't know the song again, so you just pick it. It's a mystery pick, and whoever wins in the voting, that song will be played. Okay, our question when it comes to work, who was the worst person or customer you had to deal with? A couple quick headlines here, because that's basically all you need. Our first story involved an employee at a KFC getting shot in St. Louis because they ran out of corn. Corn.
At
okay?
KFC.
Now,
you go for the corn.
Look, you get sides.
You do.
Yeah. I like their slaw.
Mm-hmm. I'll take the potatoes, man.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but I usually get two sides.
I'd shoot them over potatoes, but corn.
All right. So this story, I'll just give you the headline. Woman angry about missing chicken strip and ranch sauce accused of running over store manager's leg. Do you have any idea where that might have happened?
Ooh, Atlanta.
Oh, that would be St. Louis again. Sorry.
Damn.
Yeah, St.
Okay.
Louis. So you either get shot for having no corn or run over for either for getting the ranch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Taco Bell worker slapped by angry customer after food ruined his microwave. The guy went home with the food. It was a aluminum wrapper, I'm assuming around a burrito.
Right.
He put it in the microwave and blew his microwave up, and he got pissed off. So he slapped the worker at the Taco Bell for ruining his microwave at home when he microwaved the dinner later.
I would say somewhere like Ohio or Michigan.
That one, I believe, does not mention the location of where that one went down.
I don't see it.
Customer goes ballistic at McDonald's, demands a bag of French fries. He lost his S and went on a rampage, trashing one of the chain restaurants in Maryland from the drive-through window.
It's not from the early 90s, is it?
He starts pointing at the employees who are off screen but shrieking in terror. Then he pushes a metal storage shelf lined with electronics and other items as he crawled through the window.
Jeez.
He doesn't stop there. He continued to yell that he wants food, violently shaking the fallen shelf while demanding 2 bags of French fries that were in his view. Walmart employee shot by angry customer in Pineville. Woman claims daughter became pregnant by wearing underwear purchased online. This gets a little bit strange, but it all has to do with customer service.
Yeah.
And finally, a man jumps over a counter, knocks out Marietta poster worker. 27-year-old man jumped over the counter in Pennsylvania and punched the postal worker in the face. He was dazed and confused. The victim reportedly told officers the suspect jumped over the post office counter and punched him in the head several times. He had been assaulting the worker after he became upset that his package had not been delivered yet.
Oh, come on.
Our question when it comes to work, who is the worst person or customer you ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
Guess who it is, Ted?
James.
James, welcome to the men's room.
What's up? Happy Positive Friday.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Right back at you.
Worst customer I've had to deal with. I'm a beer distributor, so I drive the 18-wheelers all around that plethora of places to deliver beer, soda, whatnot. And one of my stops I will not say because we still deliver to him. The manager there has, long story short, has banned 5 different drivers from 3 different companies. He just hates life, and I had that stop every single week. And so me and him would get into it over the little small things, like I would put the door stopper in the door so that I could bring stacks of beer and stuff inside, and he would kick the door stop out, look at me and say, I don't want my door open, and then just walk off when I try to explain why I have the door open.
You shouldn't even have to explain that,
no, you
but
really
here we go.
You shouldn't. You think so, but the 6 months go by, and I'm just dreading going to this place every single week because I have to see his stupid face. And so I nick a can of beer outside with my hand card on accident. It happens. And beer spills on the sidewalk outside. And so I said, okay, let me put all this stuff in here, before I go and try to figure this out, so nobody spills all the beer that's sitting outside. And before I could even say anything about it, here he comes, with this little minivan march, and comes over to me and says, "Oh, you're just going to leave that there?" And I'm just like, "Well, the beer in the fridge, that's where it goes." I was being a little smart-a a little bit about it, but I'm telling him, it happens, whatnot, nothing I can really do about it. I'm sorry, it happens. And he says, "Well, it's not my fault. You're clumsy."
And so, after 6 months of dealing with this S, I kind of had it, and I just said, well, it's not my fault you're an effing a-hole. And so right after I said it, I was just like, crap, I shouldn't have said that. And he goes off and, I'm getting ready to go call, blah, 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 make calls. And I said, okay, go run to mommy. And then I was like, I shouldn't have said that either.
Go run to mommy. I like that line.
Yeah. Yeah, but he ended up calling and basically banned me from the store and basically said if I come back, he will trespass me. So they ended up having to take it off of my route, which in general, I've been trying to do that for the past 6 months. But
I was saying, aren't you happy about that?
No, I'm a better person for that getting off of my route. But it was just seeing his face. Like I would dream about his stupid face with horns on it.
How about How about the guy or the girl that replaced you? Do they deal with the same crap? Have you ever had communication with that person to find out if it's still going on?
Oh yeah, no, it's still going on. I mean, the guy that took over that stop basically says, "Hey, I have your favorite stop today." I'm just like, "Oh well, how's it going?" He's like, "That son of a bee," and all this other. He hates. He's an older guy too. He's probably like in his early to mid 50s doing that stop, and he has a more blunt mouth than I do, so I can only imagine he's probably going to get banned.
Well, there's going to come a time when your distributor cuts that guy off.
I was going to say,
it's going to come from the top if this continues.
Does this guy generate enough income where you have to tolerate him?
Yes. Unfortunately.
Okay. All right. That's why he gets away. Right. Because typically you cut a guy like that loose. Figure it out yourself.
When it comes to work, who was the worst person or customer you ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Demi. Welcome to the men's room.
What's happening, fellas?
Hola.
So, this story was back in 2009 when I started one of my first jobs in retail, which I worked in retail for a very long time. And, I was a courtesy clerk at the time at a Fred Meyer. Now, I go get called up to the check stands, and I'm helping bag this guy's stuff because he has two carts. He's pushing one and pulling the other, and it's just filled, overflowing to the brim with stuff. Just literally mix of everything in the store. I mean, full boxes of gum, meat,
I can tell you right now,
water.
That's $1,000, man. If he's got two baskets full.
It was two. It was a little over $2,000.
I was going to say.
He even had a Buddha statue from the home decor department just sitting on top. It was like, all right, cool, interesting.
Gum and a Buddha statue. That's why I go to the grocery store.
Right. And so we needed two of our courtesy clerks, me and my buddy, to help this guy out. And we're bagging all this stuff, and then he gets the payment, and he swipes like 7 different cards. And I look at my buddy, and I'm like, watch this guy try and run. After the 7th or 8th card, he's like, oh, I don't know what's going on, but maybe I'll be back and whatnot. And he pushes the card out of the way. I get out of the way, and he starts running with one of the cards, the one with the Buddha statue, of course. Runs over my buddy's foot, almost runs into another customer. And the manager at the time, she was this 5 foot flat, tall, stubby little woman. And she stops the cart and is like, no, you're not going to take this. This man, full on, it was impressive. He jumps in the air and plants both feet into her chest and drop kicks her.
Jesus.
She hits the ground. He hits the ground. Our grocery manager was already on his way, and he's a 7 foot tall, big, burly man. Picks the guy up with one hand and drags him out of the store. His car was sitting in the loop, and he just starts mouthing off, lights a cigarette. We're on the phone with the police, and he drives off. Almost hits a couple cars, almost hits a couple customers, and just dips. Best part was 15, 20 minutes later, the police officer comes into the store and is getting our stories and everything. And she's like 4'9", 4'10". She's a really short, small, little blonde woman. And we're sitting there telling her the story, and I look up, and guess who's standing right behind her? I'm like, that's him right there. In a matter of 5 seconds, this police officer, she turns around, knocks him to the ground, and cuffs him. And he's just sitting there screaming and drooling all over the tile. Turns out he just recently been diagnosed with HIV or something. And it was something crazy. We had to like clean those tiles like pretty heavily. But it was one of the craziest. I still see it vividly in my head.
I'm surprised that a guy who smokes cigarettes can jump up in the air with 2 feet and kick somebody in the chest. I'm sorry, as a smoker.
It was insane. Like I don't know how to describe it. It was very, very impressive. Like I when I was a little younger.
Guy's an idiot, but
now what are all the other customers doing? Are all the other customers just watching this whole thing go down?
Oh, it was a whole spectacle. All the check stands just stopped and just stared at this happening. My buddy ended up helping the manager out, and I got on the phone with the police, and we walked. The grocery manager dragged this guy out, and he was like maybe 6 feet, but he was like really scrawny. Like he definitely, when we heard from them that, he had been diagnosed with HIV and full blown AIDS, and it was just like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. But
well, wait, how did you find all of that out? Like how much time had passed between the time this guy gets taken off and you find out this guy has AIDS?
Oh, there was like the next day, because the police officers actually had come back in to get the footage and everything, and they warned us, hey, you guys need to clean wherever he was drooling, because he literally was drooling and crying all over the tile in front of the manager's desk, which was literally in the middle of the store.
I can't believe the guy thought that he could actually wheel the carts out without paying for anything, and then load his car up and drive away without anyone stopping him.
I mean, in 2024, I believe you could do that, because they tell you not to do anything, just let people rip you off. But yeah, in 2009, I thought, you could still, I believe, stop them.
It was iffy.
Yeah.
It was iffy around that time. Like we had a couple managers lose their job because they, stopped people because they put hands on them, things like that. But yeah, it was a little iffy back then.
I swear to God, I truly believe that within our lifetime, depending on where you are and what area you are in, if you work or if you walk into any establishment, they're going to take the Costco methodology and make that a permanent thing for every single place you walk into. In other words, if I'm going to, like with the Amazon to go, same idea. When I walk in there, they know who I am. I have scanned either my ID or my card. They have checked my card. I have to be a member to walk into the Walgreens. I have to put my code in to get into the door. So no matter what,
really,
every single person who walks in that establishment.
Wait, at your Walgreens?
Look. Like
so wait,
else,
if you go to the Walgreens,
to prevent shoplifting,
it depends on which one you go. So some Costco's now, like, they don't just have a person standing there kind of looking at it. You got to literally scan
your card
to prove it's like real.
You can't walk into the establishment unless they know
for me,
exactly
that's a benefit
who you are.
Because my Costco card, I would rather scan it than show the security guard, because Costco, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know this happened, and I've said this before, but we joined Costco, and, you give them your information, whatever. They send you the card. And I get the card, and you flip it over, and the picture, it's some white woman with blonde hair that I've never met. So we reach out to Costco, say, hey, clearly this is the wrong card. Costco, to the credit, said, hey, our bad. We're going to send you a new card. And I get my new card. Same damn white woman with the blonde hair with my name on it. But when I had to go in there and show security, it became a whole thing, and then the security guard had to get a manager, then the manager had to confirm that it was me, then they had to write a note, so at the time that I went to check out, no one questioned it. I'd be much happier if I could just go in and scan my card and not have to go through that whole thing again. Because they're like, why is there a white woman on your card? I'm like, I don't know, man. You guys sent it to me. This is actually the second card, and for whatever reason, I'm forever linked to this random-ass woman.
Is she attractive?
No, it's some older lady. I don't know what it is, but she shows up on my card.
When it comes to work, who is the worst person or customer you ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Tara. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
So I'm a cab driver, and for some reason, our local hospital has a tendency to release people from the hospital about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. No big deal. And they asked me to come pick a gentleman up and give him a ride to one of the neighboring towns. Okay, no problem.
Did they pay for that?
To pick him up.
Hey, Tara, did they pay for that?
Actually, they did.
Okay.
So I get the gentleman in my taxi, and I often let people sit in the front seat, and he's sitting in the front. By the time I got to the freeway, he's talking to himself, and I'm thinking, this is going to be bad. Well, we get onto the freeway, a couple miles down the road. The dude starts reaching over between my steering wheel and the speedometer, like grabbing for invisible things that are in the air. I slapped his hand and was like, what are you doing? He goes, don't you see it? I said, see what? And he stops, and he kind of just gets quiet a minute. Well, probably another 10 miles down the road, all of a sudden he jumps up, grabs a hold of my steering wheel, pulls himself over to my window on my side, and is just screaming at the top of his lungs. I kind of elbowed him in the ribs and was like, what the heck, dude? Get your butt moved over. He goes, didn't you see that explosion? I said, what explosion? He goes, that semi went off that overpass. There's no overpass, and there's no semi. You need to knock it off right now, or I'm going to have to call the police and remove you from my taxi. I made him get in the back seat, and he was quiet the rest of the ride, but that was the scariest trip I had ever had.
Where did you have to drive him to?
From Ellensburg to Cleellum. It was about a 23-minute drive.
That's a pretty good clip. Especially, you're on I-90. There's not a lot of places to pull over between those two locations.
Right?
Yeah.
No. Did you feel more uncomfortable with him behind you? Like, I get that he's freaking out in the front seat, but when someone's on that level, I'd rather have them beside me than behind me.
Yeah, when you dropped him off, did you drop him off at a residence?
But he could jerk the wheel.
It was,
right.
No matter what, it was all kind of creepy. I was
True.
more mad at the hospital for not giving me a heads up that the dude was hallucinating off of something. They should have warned me.
I was going to say, did you reach out to the hospital and say, I think you released him a little early? Just a heads up, guys.
I did go down to the hospital, actually, as soon as I got back into town, and I made a big old stink, and they actually had me removed from the hospital.
They had you removed from the hospital. I'm assuming this guy didn't leave a tip.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The hospital paid for his fare, so I was just happy once he got out of the taxi.
Well, I'm glad he didn't wreck the car.
Good God.
When it comes to work, who was the worst person or customer you ever had to deal with? 206.
At Lovers, you can get what you really want this holiday, a perfect pleasure present. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and pick up something indulgent for yourself. Lovers has lingerie, toys, and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Jordan B. Peterson, We Who Wrestle with God Tour.
If you say the truth and nothing else, you'll have an immense adventure as a consequence. You won't know what's going to happen to you, but the truth will reveal the world the way it's intended to be revealed, and the consequence for you will be that you'll have the adventure of your life.
Live across North America in 2025. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Getting help for mental health shouldn't be as hard as it is. Thankfully, Mindful Therapy Group is here to make your mental health journey as painless as possible. Be seen in as little as 48 hours for in-person or telehealth appointments. Mindful partners with thousands of licensed clinicians to find the perfect fit for you. Whether you need talk therapy, psychological testing, even medication management, Mindful has you covered. Mindful Therapy Group also accepts insurance, so you can focus on you and not your wallet. Visit mindfultherapygroup.com to get started today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday gifts for the home, like vacuums, bedding, and home decor. You'll have money left over for those sweet handbells you've had your eye on. Or that standing mixer to whip up some holiday cookies. Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
803 Rock.
99.9 KISW. The men's room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up, the exciting return of Ted versus the FCC. Steve Miggs this time being the loser in fantasy football, stepping in for Ted with an attempt at the tongue twister we have coming up. Ted versus the FCC. Right after emails on our question, when it comes to work, who was the worst person or customer you ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Sherman. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Gentlemen, I was working years ago in Spokane at a convenience store right on I-82.
My God, that already sounds like a nightmare. I was at a convenience store in Spokane. Like, you could stop there and we get it.
There was some different things that happened there. The manager who worked during the day, and I was the closing, the overnights, like 11 to 7. one night a gentleman come in about 3 o'clock in the morning and wanted to purchase beer on his account that knew the manager very well and had an account there. And he says, well, it's not actually technically selling beer. You're just, putting it on my account. I explained to him that, no, it's technically selling beer. And he had a burrito cooking, one of the large burritos, in the microwave. And when I told him that he couldn't purchase and I wouldn't unlock the coolers, he went over to the microwave. He grabbed the burrito and hurled it at me behind the counter. And it splattered all over the window behind me and all over all the cigarettes and everything else that was in there. And it was kind of a nightmare. When the manager came in the next morning, I explained what happened to him, and he was, I'm sorry. And I told him, I says, I don't want this to happen again, or I can't work here anymore. And it never did happen again. But
did you ever see that guy again?
No. So it was like there was a house right next to the store that always had a bunch of motorcycles parked out front or along the side and out back and in the alley and stuff. And so, yeah, I never saw him again. He didn't come in the store anymore or needed anybody that was in the house to come over.
Oh, did he come from that house?
He came from that house. He knew the account. He had his bike there. And stuff.
Well, that's old school. I've heard about it at bars.
But I've
never heard about that type of one-on-one situation at a retail
convenience store.
Yeah, at that kind of a place.
Hey, Sherman, let me ask you this. Now, when he threw the burrito, did he have bad aim and missed, or did you actually have to duck?
No, I ducked.
Okay.
You George Bushed it.
He would have hit me with that hot burrito, and there would have been bean stuff all over me.
Miss me. I still remember when George Bush had that shoe thrown at him when he popped.
He
back
dodged
up.
it good.
He looked like he popped up like, ha, miss me.
Yeah, that's a quick dodge too.
When it comes to work, who was the worst person or customer you ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
Ted, wasn't your buddy? I guess it's a Royal Farms in Baltimore. He was stabbed.
Oh, yeah. So that one is gone now. But
the location.
That location.
Ah, okay.
Right? Because we used to work at this bar. Like, they tore down that whole block.
Oh, yeah.
But that was kind of the thing. Royal Farms is like, again,
a 24-hour convenience store.
But they had like fresh, and they had fried chicken that people loved. And then you could go in there and get subs and everything. So this one was right next to Johns Hopkins University. So you would go in there after the bars, and we would always get the same, chicken subs, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So the one night, it's the guy's first night working there. It's taken a while. My buddy's kind of like, come on, dude. Like, hurry up. And the guy's like, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to take it outside? So my buddy, not missing a beat's like, sure, whatever. We can go outside. And he's walking first. He opens the door. And before he can get outside, the guy that had been working, who had the giant knife, just starts stabbing him. And I mean, seriously, he literally almost died. He collapsed his lung and everything else. But yeah, the dude stabbed him, I think, 6 times because he said he was taking too long making the sub.
That's day one.
I wonder how that worked out in court.
You know what's funny? I don't know the end of that. I don't know. I mean, look, the dude, well, that's the other part of the story. Like, the guy didn't continue working there.
Yeah.
Obviously, the other worker was like, you got to leave. But there was just crazy stuff at that store. I mean, look, we used to steal stuff from that store.
Yeah.
And then one night we were in there, and a dude took like 2 whole cases of like chocolate bars or something. And he runs.
Chocolate bars?
So he just had a bunch of stuff, and he runs out. And me and my buddy mainly, chases him down. But I'm kind of with him, so we come back in, and the woman's like, "Thank you two so much. What can I give you guys?" And we were like, "We couldn't imagine taking a single thing for free from this store.
Certainly not a 6-pack of beer."
Sure. Right? We had stolen candy bars and everything.
Oh, that's why you're being good.
That's right. So it's just funny. The one time they were like, "Do you guys want something for free?" We were like, "No. We
like to steal."
Basically.
We'll come in and get it.
Yeah.
When it comes to work, who was the worst person or customer you ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jordan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola.
All right, so this story goes back to about 2012, 2013, when I was working my first job at Arby's up in Mount Vernon. Well, right next door to this restaurant was a hotel. And all one of my coworkers sees from the second floor balcony while he's on break is a purse fly out of the room and into the parking lot. Well, I poke my head out this door, or out the drive-through window, I'm sorry, and see this chick running out and this dude chasing out after her. And so I tell my boss, hey, I'm going to step out there and, intervene and make sure this chick is okay. Well, once I get outside in the parking lot, all I see is this dude and this chick are all bloody to hell and a knife in this dude's hand.
Oh.
And, well, I get in between this guy and this chick telling him, hey, no, you're not going to get near this girl. I ain't going to let this fly. And mind you, he's starting to approach me, getting all aggressive, saying this girl is a bee, this girl is a hooker, this girl has done this and that, you shouldn't listen to her. And mind you, they're both bloody. And I still have the headset on my head while I'm squaring up with this dude. And, least an intimidating person at all. But during this whole altercation, my boss starts grabbing me and starts trying to pull me back in the building and telling me, hey, don't do this. Well, and in that moment, the cops show up. They end up telling us to go back inside. We go back inside. And during their whole altercation, if I have the headset on, I can still hear everything going on through the speaker. They're telling this guy, get on the ground, drop the knife. And they eventually handcuff this dude. Well, they take both of them in. And after they took both of them in, we fill out our statements and everything. The next day, the old school resource officer that was at my high school when I was there came through the line. He was a responder to the scene. And I asked him, hey, I know you can't tell me exact details, but what the heck was that? Turned out it ended up being armed robbery of a prostitute.
Oh, he was robbing her?
No, what I think was happening was he refused to pay. She pulled a knife on him. They started wrestling over the knife, and that's how they both got cut up to all hell.
Could you easily identify her as a lady of the night when you were watching this go down? Did it look like that?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. She just looked like your average gal, probably 100 pounds soaking wet, and this dude was like 6'4". And I'm like, I'm not going to let you get near her. But yeah, it turns out to be armed robbery of a prostitute.
That actually makes it kind of interesting, at least.
Yeah,
like, all right.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this, ask you this. At your time at Arby's, what was your go-to meal there? Even if it's some combination they don't offer on the menu.
Honestly, just the basic beef and cheddar meal with curly fries and, yeah.
I'm right there with you. That's my order.
Yeah,
That's my order.
Give me the standard.
That's my order.
I know they got
I got another question. Like, is there generally prostitutes in Mount Vernon?
Oh, you'd be surprised. There's the homeless population, and, yeah, there are some kind of gross-looking prostitutes up here.
Maybe that's good. That's our new slogan. We got hoes.
Yeah.
I just don't think of, like, smaller towns having streetwalkers.
Really?
No.
I absolutely, but to me, and look, I could be wrong. So, like Seattle, you go to Aurora, there it is. Their advertising is pretty obvious. I feel like in the smaller towns, like, they're everywhere, like they are anywhere. I just feel like the difference is it's someone you know. Like, I went to high school with her. I know what she did. I'm not judging, but every once in a while I get horny. Here's $50. Let's go do our thing.
Yeah. When it comes to work, who is the worst person or customer you ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
No, I mean, you're right. I've always lived near big cities. I'm just like, what's going on out there?
You have prostitutes too? Cool.
Yeah. Like, wow.
Hey, maybe we'll come out for the weekend.
Hello, Gary. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, my brothers.
Hola.
All right. This is a strange story. It starts out with me being stationed in the Philippines. I've called in a few times. I was given a 12-hour notice that I was going to deploy. Normally, I deployed to the Gulf, but this time I deployed to Panama.
All right.
And this is 1987. Ronald Reagan was doing this show of force thing. He had a couple of aircraft carriers down in Central America. So I'm at Howard Air Force Base. We go, my aircraft commander says we got a mission, so we're going to fly about a 20-minute flight, land. So we flew from the Air Force Base to the International. We taxied into a compound and picked up Manuel Noriega and his numero uno, dos, and tres.
And flying back to the States, I'm guessing?
No, we took him out to the aircraft carriers.
All right.
Both of them.
Okay.
The Ranger and the Connie at the time. One was on the I guess the Atlantic and Pacific. So there were two.
You didn't have to personally deal with him, though, did you?
Oh yeah, I was the air crewman. I had to brief him and show him how to get out of the aircraft in case it crashed, because we were landing on an aircraft carrier and then departing and then going to land again and then departed again, which is crazy, all in one day. And then, of course, after that, he wasn't a bad guy to us, but he was a bad guy to the world because we kind of invaded him a little bit later.
Right. Yep.
But he was the worst person that I ever had to deal with during my 20 years in the Navy.
Is it because of his status in his country, like that super entitlement?
Yes, exactly. It's not because right. It's what he did.
All right. Well, that makes sense. That's crazy.
It does.
Yeah.
Right, because wasn't he like laundering the money for the cartels?
I believe that was the case. There was a lot of weird stuff going on when Reagan was in office.
The Contra stuff going on.
You got the Contra stuff going on. You're trading weapons, and then the streets get flooded with all the drugs, which gave the serious rise to the violent street gangs that everyone bitches about now. You know what I mean? Like, he had so many moving parts on this, and then, like, when your usefulness is done, like, yeah, now we're going to come get you.
When it comes to work, who was the worst person or customer you ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Brent. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, you dinosaurs.
Hola.
So I work in the glass business. Yeah, my handle is Bernie the Glass Man. You might recognize some of my texts.
Okay.
But the worst customer I ever had to deal with years ago, and I do full glass replacements and also rock chips. A little ding in your windshield, whatever. Don't call whatever the people that advertise all the time on TV. They're about the worst. Just FYI. Anyways, this guy comes in. He's one right in front of his face, like if you drew crosshairs in your windshield above your steering wheel. It's a tiny little thing, less than a dime. And I told him, I can fix it. It will not grow, but you will still see it. It will still be there. It'll be a bug that you cannot wash off your windshield right in front of your face. And I fixed it. He's like, I don't like this. Rah, rah, rah. He just right up in my grill. He dresses me down in front of a showroom full of people. I take him outside. He gets, and I'm 5'10". He's like 6'3" or 4. And he's just, rah, rah. He's yelling and screaming at me. And I'm like, this is the best it gets. Order a new windshield. I'll have it tomorrow. Oh, he's not having it. I had the customers call 911 because this guy was such an a-hole.
Did he pay for the repair you did do, or did you just say, just get out?
His insurance company paid for it. He had, they waive your deductible. You got a $100, $50 deductible, whatever.
More than that.
They don't want to pay for a $300 or $400 windshield. Hey, we'll waive it for a $50 rock chip repair. You can save the window, for
it makes sense.
Yeah, but he was not having it. I told him up front, I'm like, this will not be invisible.
Did the police come?
The sheriff was like 30 seconds away down the street. They showed up and took him away. I'm like, breathing down, de-escalating and stuff. Customers in the shop are shaking their heads like, OMG, this is the worst. It came really close to physical blows.
Oh, it's not worth it over that, Bernie. That's fact.
No kidding.
No. Jesus.
This guy takes a swing at you.
When it comes to work, who is the worst person or customer you ever had to deal with? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Dylan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, fellas.
Hola.
All right, so about 12 years ago, I worked with a guy in IT, and he was the biggest ball of stress, anxiety, all built into 140 pounds of them. And he would take, a 30-second smoke break. He would be crushing, damn near shotgunning Red Bulls, by the 4-packs. So one day, he's on the phone with someone. He gets all stressed out. He hangs up the phone. He goes outside, and he kicks his tires to his vehicle, right? Just angry, just so mad. about whatever that phone call was about, probably a printer. He comes back inside with this grin on his face. And I'm just like, what now? He sits down next to me, and he's the type of guy, he's in IT, he's wearing steel-toe boots. Okay. I'm like, all right, great. He pulls his boot off, and he's got gross socks on. He pulls his sock off. He's got claws on his toenails. I'm like, of course he does. And he's about 3 feet away from me. And he proceeds to grab a pair of needle-nose pliers. And 3 feet away from me, he pulls his big toenail completely off. Oh. He got so stressed over probably nothing that he kicked it. It did something in his steel-toe boots, and I was sitting there. I was in disbelief that he's just bleeding next to me, and he just pulls that toenail off, and I could not believe that had just never had that happen in all my years of working somewhere.
Yeah, me neither, bro. I think that's a 1 in 10 million.
Whatever happened to that guy, do you think?
If he lived another 5 years, I would be shocked. Really? I mean, our job was not stressful. I mean, you deal with some people who don't know how to unplug and plug something back in. Sure, right? Every IT department does. But he would be just so angry, and then he would pick up the phone and he'd be like, "How can I help you?" And then he'd hang it up, and he'd be so angry again.
What do you think it was? How many years did you work with this guy?
I was there for 3 months. I quit a week later to open up my own business.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Good for you.
Oh, and I actually talked to the owner, and I told him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't blame you." Like, he was just like, "Cool, go do your own thing. Yeah, that makes sense. Best of luck to you." So, no, if that guy lived another few years, I'd be shocked. It was at least a pack a day and a 4-pack of Red Bulls in an 8-hour shift, at least.
And ripping off your toenails with pliers. Mm-hmm. That's
I have never seen that. It was bleeding, and it was gross before that happened, because you pull off the sock with the holes in it, and then he grabs the pliers that we all use when we're building computers, and pulls that thing off. The grossest thing I've ever seen. This dude is the craziest thing.
Damn. Okay,
that is insane.
We had the lady call about taking the person from the hospital in Ellensburg to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was seeing things and reached across the wheel.
And she's trying to drive a cab.
Should tell you the story. A Lyft driver in Texas is safe after police say a customer forced him at gunpoint to drive 1,300 miles to Florida. The ordeal took place Friday night when the suspect, identified as 23-year-old Miguel Hernandez, pulled out a gun instead of exiting the vehicle and told the driver, "You need to drive to Florida right now, and you cannot speed." At one point, the following morning, police say he ordered the driver to phone his children and say he was on a long work trip and would not be home for a while. When they arrived in Miami Beach, the driver told police that his kidnapper spoke of plans to kidnap another person and score a big payday. The driver escaped when they went to a Dollar General store to get supplies by hiding in the bathroom. It is unclear whether he alerted police himself or told store clerks, but police did arrest the suspect 3 hours later in Hollywood, Florida. Hernandez is being held on charges of kidnapping, carjacking, and possessing a firearm in furtherance of a violent crime. 1,300-mile Lyft drive.
Look, as someone who has kidnapped someone before, at least we did it in our own vehicle. Just don't use rideshare.
Coming up, the return of Ted versus the FCC, and we've got your emails coming up next from the men's room at KISW.com.
At Lovers, you can get what you really want this holiday, a perfect pleasure present. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and pick up something indulgent for yourself. Lovers has lingerie, toys, and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Jordan B. Peterson, We Who Wrestle with God Tour.
If you say the truth and nothing else, you'll have an immense adventure as a consequence. You won't know what's going to happen to you, but the truth will reveal the world the way it's intended to be revealed, and the consequence for you will be that you'll have the adventure of your life.
Live across North America in 2025. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Life can be hectic, and managing your mental health is more important today than ever before. That's why Mindful Therapy Group's mission is to take the pain out of finding a therapist. Whether you need talk therapy, psychological testing, even medication management, Mindful has you covered. Our mental health providers are here for you, with both in-person and telehealth options to get you seen in as little as 48 hours. Mindful Therapy Group also accepts insurance. Join us to start your journey to a healthier and happier you. Visit mindfultherapygroup.com to get started today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday gifts for the home, like vacuums, bedding, and home decor. You'll have money left over for those sweet handbells you've had your eye on. Or those gingerbread scented candles that help with the illusion that you made the dessert yourself. Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
At Lovers, you can get what you really want this holiday, a perfect pleasure present. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and pick up something indulgent for yourself. Lovers has lingerie, toys, and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Amazon Fall Favorites are here to make you say, woo! With low prices on home, beauty, and fashion brands like Amazon Essentials. Woo! So hold on to your pumpkin spiced whatevers and save on Fall Favorites at Amazon.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Are you a bartender that dreads the phrase, hey, can you put the game on? At Sports on What, we understand your pain and we're here to help. Over-the-air, satellite, cable, or streaming, Sports on What knows what channel the game is on, and you can too. Follow your favorite teams, set alerts, and filter by provider to get the results you need. Stop wasting time searching and never miss kickoff again. Just download the Sports on What app, and you'll always know how to watch the game. Available for Android and iOS. Start your 7-day free trial when you download Sports on What and subscribe today.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Coming up, we'll drink and toast of the weekend with a shot of the day. Then it's Bad Choice Friday time.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
Hey, today on Bad Choice Friday, a Men's Room Mystery Dealer's Choice edition. You either pick one of the members of the shows. We have all picked our own individual song. No one knows what we have picked. However, all you need to do is vote for the member of the show you think maybe has the best tune this week. So if you follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live, pick between myself, Steve, Ted, or Mike. We've all picked tunes. Again, Mike is the only one who knows what we have picked. Yeah. Brian Castle does too, because he's got to be that guy that approves all the songs.
Of course.
For whatever reason. But either way, Ted, how was the voting so far as far as whose tune right now looks to be the winner?
We're going to have to dig deep. Thrill's got a big lead.
All right.
How big of a lead?
He's almost double me, and I'm in second place.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, you won last week, Ted.
Unlike fantasy football, I'm doing well.
Picked Bruce Springsteen and Born in the USA. I'm thinking Steve might have kept the same pick from last week, or maybe moved on to something a little bit different?
I won't say. I put 2 out there, and then Castle had to approve, so he picked one or the other. I don't know which one he approved, so it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, all right. So vote now. If you follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live, whoever's tune you pick, that'll be the one we play coming up on a Bad Choice Friday. In the meantime, if you'd like to go to see Disturbed at Climate Pledge Arena on May the 5th, you will want to text the word sound right now to 206-803-ROCK. That is sound to 206-803-ROCK, and you will be entered to win tickets to see Disturbed at Climate Pledge on May the 5th. 10 for 10, mother. You know what?
I know. Hey, man, you did it. You did it. Normally, you forget this kind of thing. Mike and I won't say anything. We let it go. You right, 10 for 10. That never happened.
How many times did you guys promise yourself you would not remind me? While I was using the bathroom.
No, it was an unspoken rule, basically.
Yeah, we don't talk about it.
So, like, you'd be in the bathroom, whatever, and we would just look at each other, and we understood what the look was, which is, don't tell them.
Yeah.
And we usually let it go. I think the latest we let it go was the end of emails was.
Yes.
Because we don't want to break birthdays and all that. Like, all right, let's just wait.
Maybe I was 9 for 10. Considering
I think you were 10 for 10 this time, man.
Still got out within the window. Sound, S-O-U-N-D, sound. Text that to 206-803-ROCK for your chance to win tickets to see Disturbed. All right, do we have time for a few emails to the men's room at KISW.com?
You've got mail. You've got mail.
One from our question when it comes to work, who was the worst person or customer you ever had to deal with? Boo, bitches, before I started working for the Postal Service, I worked for a warehouse that delivered groceries to 7-Eleven stores. I delivered to at least 100 different ones during the time that I worked there. And I did deliver to the one on 3rd near you guys. The deliveries were always at night. The one on 3rd is not the worst one, believe it or not. The one on 1st in Cherry, which I believe is now shut down, was the worst of them all.
Yeah, I have not been there recently, but I remember before and after any kind of sporting event, I'd stop in there to get smokes or whatever, and it was different.
That's right by my bus stop. I've seen that one.
Yeah?
I know that one.
Yeah.
The Denny one by the Needle can have some interesting encounters.
It can, but at least it's near the Needle, so for every one really out there whack job, there's a tourist and one resident.
I would say there's another convenience store. It's not a 7-Eleven. I don't know the name of it down there in Pioneer Square. And I will go in there like for Taylor Swift.
All right.
Mike and I got excited. We kind of handed out some of our White Claws for Taylor Swift gear.
Yeah.
His wife was pissed. So I said, don't worry. I know a store. And even
wouldn't
day,
his wife want the gear?
Well, no, at this point, she wanted to have
White
a
Claw.
drink.
She wanted a White Claw.
But even that day, I walked into that store. It's just a couple blocks away, and the looks I got, they were like, you went in that store? And I was like, yeah. So I saw a bouncer
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, and I was like, is that place still open? He's like, Ted, it is. Do not go in there. I was like, I got to get him.
So the one
she was
on
pissed.
one on First and
Hey,
Cherry.
we're all right, though.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah.
You nailed it. You came through.
Apparently, at that location, employees had to guard my truck because it was surrounded by probably 30 homeless people who would steal from me or throw eggs in my truck or whatever they could find.
Throw eggs in it?
The one on Steel Street in Tacoma was second place. Drug deals, guys waving assault rifles, total mayhem. The one on 3rd was in the top 5, though. I hated that job so much that I left the last 3 deliveries at one store. I drove my truck back to the warehouse and went home. I got fired on purpose. I was tired of crazy people. That from D.B. Cooper. All right, let's move on to the birthday request. Ola Men's Room wanted to wish my daughter, Freya, happy first birthday. Could we get a kid's fish sandwich and y'all talking all over each other about Coco Melon? Lots of love, that from Mom and from Dad.
Fish salad.
Well,
Of
Coco
course,
Melon,
I
one of my
about
favorite
Coco Melon
artists
is. I have
of all time.
absolutely no idea.
You absolutely know who Coco Melon is.
Coco Melon.
You love all of Coco Melon songs. You've heard them over the years. They are classics.
sure about
They
these.
make some of the
Maybe
best
I have.
kids music from
Maybe I
1 year
have.
olds you've ever heard in your
Then
life.
I certainly have and don't want to remember.
Mike, Coco Melon, do you have any Coco Melon?
I got a little bit of Coco Melon.
Yeah.
This is an oldie but a goodie.
The wheels on the bus go round and round.
I know Coco Melon.
Round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round. All through the town.
The people on the bus.
No, the doors, Miles.
Yeah, they really
Open and shut. Come on now.
Shut.
Yeah, all
This
doors.
song's been around since the dawn of time.
Well, okay.
It's been around since buses.
Couldn't have been that good of a show. Got canceled.
Well, Coco Melon.
What?
Yeah.
The Coco Melon
They
show.
fired all the actors?
Like Coco Melon, I think.
How do you cancel Coco Melon? You got a built-in audience.
For being too addictive.
I guess.
It should be renamed Cocaine Melon, says this story. Oh, my God.
Dude, this one says same thing. Cocoa melon, hyperstimulating that actually acts as a drug, as a stimulant.
Oh, my God.
It's a children's song.
That was for a 1-year-old.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, I feel like the Wiggles are still on. Sesame Street's still on. Cocoa Melon, they're like, no, you're done.
At 1 year old, my kids were addicted to Cheerios. And that's it. Come on.
Guys, please give a birthday shout out to my son, AJ. He's one of the coolest young men I know and my best friend. Can you please give an uh-oh look out and a fish sandwich montage? Thanks, guys. That from the dad, Doug.
Uh-oh, look out.
Can I get
a filet of fish sandwich?
So you know I got
I'll have a fish sandwich.
Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? You put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
I'll order a fish sandwich.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side. I smell the fish sandwich. Maybe some dinner relish in the morning. At noon. At noon and at night.
Can I buy you a fish sandwich?
So you don't want a fish sandwich?
All the gentlemen, I want to wish a very happy 15th birthday to my amazing daughter, Tegan. She has grown into such a fun, energetic, and unstoppable force that is a joy every single day. She got the perfect balance of spunk and heart, and we know whatever pins life throws her way, she'll knock them all down with style. So keep aiming high there, my superstar. Can you guys do a barbershop quartet fish sandwich? Some turtle sex, and have Coach Ted tell her that bowling is awesome and she rocks it. Thanks, guys, from her mom and Michael.
Can I get a fish sandwich? Oh, you know I gotta eat right. Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? You put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
First of all, happy birthday. Bowling is awesome, man. I love bowling. I bet I go 4 or 5 times a year, and if you're playing at 15, that's good. You'll get better at it. I think when I was a teenager, man, in the summertime, we used to join bowling leagues at the bowling alley near our house, so we go play more. Also, the shoes were kind of cool, kind of funky. And then even as you get older, at 15, just wait a couple years. Start going on Friday nights where they have the light-up bowl and this and that. You can do all that. Keep that bowling game strong.
Gentlemen, today is my 27th birthday, possibly the last time I'll ever hear you guys locally, as I am moving to Utah. I've been listening to you guys for close to 13 years. Can't wait to continue listening on the Odyssey app when I get to Utah. So can I get 3 farts and Coach Ted giving me advice on moving out of state for the very first time? Thank you, guys, and stay real. That from Kyle.
It's a 3 fart salute right there.
All right, you said he's moving to Utah?
Yeah.
All right. Generally, I'd always make fun of Utah, but honestly, I had a buddy that moved there a couple years ago, and he absolutely loves it. I think they changed some of the rules, too, so if you're a beer drinker, you can actually get some stuff down there. Moving out of state's going to be tough, all right? You're first going to get there. It's going to be different. Obviously, Utah and Washington, different states, but also beautiful scenery, good college football. If you're in Salt Lake, hit the Red Iguana, delicious Mexican food. And then other than that, man, you just got to go out a little bit, mix it up, find people you like at work. You have a new friend group in no time.
Pack a nest ton of weed with you before you leave. Yeah. All the Joes, can you guys wish my friend Smalls a happy 37th birthday with Turtle Sex, Leroy Jenkins, and the captain giving him advice on catching some clams this weekend on the coast. Thanks a lot, guys. That from Pasty. Or Pasty. 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 Whatever.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Oh!
Ooh, well, ahoy there. Well, you've come to the right place when it comes to getting clams on the beach. Technically, what's wrong with you, Mike? You get down on your hands and knees, you lightly rake the sand about 1 inch below the surface until you hear or feel the rake scrape a shell. Or do what the old Capitan does when he's on the hunt for some clam to eat and buy a lot of red wine and cocaine. Works every time. Crunchberry.
And no night clamming.
It says you.
Is that illegal?
I know at Ocean Shores. I've been out there in December driving on the beach. There's a lot of signs that say no night clamming.
All right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I couldn't see the sign. It was nighttime.
Does that mean it's easy pickings at night? Or they just don't want you to get run over by a truck?
You know what? I'm not sure.
I don't know either.
I always just thought it was hilarious.
Because you can night fish, right?
I don't know.
I believe you can. I mean, you can't in Florida, but you can do anything in Florida.
Well, Florida, yeah.
Come on. Yeah. I'll bet you all, my husband Todd is turning 48 today. He forgot to send a birthday request in for me, but I'm a better person than him and remembered his special day. Please play him a bunch of fart sounds and a geez Louise. Love the show. Thanks, guys. That from Gretchen.
Jeez Louise.
Oh, good afternoon, man.
This is so wet. Listen to that end.
Oh, good afternoon, man. Please have you wish my partner in life and crime, Headley, pronounced Heedley, pecked me in the eye. An easy breezy, beautiful 49th trip around the giant egg yolk in the sky with a fart montage and green beans medley and some advice from the captain on navigating the choppy waters of the not-so-fart sea. From the woman who doesn't know how to use a period, KT.
Ooh, well, ahoy there. Choppy Waters. Actually, Choppy Waters, aside from being a terrible blues musician, are the favorite type of waters that the old Capitan likes to navigate. It reminds me that you're alive. You know, the adrenaline rush. Actually, it reminds me of the first time I tried a little something called Brain Sparkle. Brain Sparkle's a homemade narcotic made by Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Basically, they ferment gummy bears in a discarded paint can that they found behind an abandoned coal mine on the outskirts of a Bangladeshi city. They submerge the cans in a mixture of seawater and cat urine for 30 minutes, heated up on hookah coals stolen from a legless hobo. Well, when the gummies start to bubble, that's when you get to huff it. And the sensation, it's like choppy water. If your nostrils are on fire and you had tunnel vision in one eye. Crunch berries.
Hey, guys, my Aunt Barbara is having her birthday today. Barbara is a great person, mother and aunt, though she refuses to watch Maryland in person with the rest of us Smith family.
Oh, Maryland football games.
Could you get some fish sandwich and some of Miles' dad jokes? Thanks, you guys are the best, and Mike is sexy.
Yeah.
That from Ted.
Buy you a fish sandwich.
Damn right. Happy birthday, Aunt Barbara. Also, my confirmation sponsor.
Oh, really?
Okay.
But seriously, she is awesome. But she gets so annoyed with the rest of us, she don't go to the games.
Really?
Yeah.
It's because you guys are jackasses or she doesn't like Maryland?
My Uncle Tim, her husband, makes a unique sound.
Oh, okay. Well, Aunt Barbara, since you are family, I'm going to give you every single dad joke that I have as we get to the weekend.
All right.
Every single one. Here we go. Guys, the doctor asked me if I smoke or drink coffee.
Oh, yeah?
I drink it. I sued the airline for losing my luggage.
Oh, yeah?
They lost the case. What did I say to the wife after I bought her the wrong kind of flowers?
I don't know.
Whoops, a daisy.
All right, Miles. What do you call a book club that's stuck on one book?
Book club that is stuck on one book.
I don't know.
Church.
Guys, yesterday I wore something from 10 years ago, and guess what? It still fits.
Oh, yeah?
Socks. What did the goose say that immediately went viral? What did the goose say that immediately went viral?
Where the quack women at? I don't know.
Hug Tua. I have a horse named Mayo.
Mayo?
Mayo.
Oh! Does I know how Mayo
Does Mayo nay?
Mayo not. Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. Yes. Very good. All right. What do you call two monkeys that share an Amazon account? What do you call two monkeys that share an Amazon account? Primates. Why do astronomers hate vegetarian restaurants?
Because it has 0 stars.
They need something meatier.
0 stars. Ted speaking from the heart.
It's all for Ann Barbara. All for Ann Barbara.
Come on, Barbara.
What is the Tooth Fairy's music label called? What is the Tooth Fairy's music label called?
Someone Bluetooth?
Dental Records.
All right.
And finally, my favorite one. I might need a drum roll for this, if I could, because this is one of the better ones I've had in a while. Guys, and seriously, think deep. Can you imagine if human beings actually came from space?
Ah, damn it. I was about to be like, thanks for keeping it clean. Mike, you know what? Don't chop up that audio for me.
All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty German, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Italy's world-famous sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Oh, God. Thank you, Mom. We appreciate that. Okay, now I think it's time that we go back in time to the last time that we played Ted versus the FCC. If we could, let's go back in time.
Nick dips his ships while he sips Schlitz as he hunts cuts of the latest music. His ships are lit, and the cuts he hunts are fun and funky.
3 cents fast.
Nick dips his ships while he sips Schlitz as he hunts cuts of the latest music. His ships are lit, and the cuts he hunts are fun and funky.
1.
Nick dips his ships while he sips Schlitz as he hunts cuts of the latest music. His ships are lit, and cuts as he hunts are fun and funky.
2.
Nick dips his ships while he sips Schlitz, and he hunts cuts of the latest music. His ships are lit, and the cuts he hunts are fun and funky.
Big win at Ted versus the FCC. Let's do it again.
Now, everyone's favorite daytime game show, where one person could lose $325,000 and their job, or win and walk away with nothing. It's time for Ted versus the FCC.
Wow. We were up so late last night.
So late. You know, Miggs, you probably, man, I don't even know if you were up yet for the morning show by the time we went to bed. You know what I'm saying?
I think I woke up and you guys were still awake.
Still working out of Ted versus the FCC.
Yeah.
Steve is in the
love
house.
Thursday night football.
Yes, we did. Absolutely. I don't know whether to play heel on this. Last time you were in here, because your fantasy football team sucks, you lost to Ted versus the FCC, and now once again the loser is here again.
And I have nothing to do with our team. I don't even know how to get to the link. I keep losing it. I don't even know who our quarterback is.
Danny V is in charge, so he is just absolutely screwing you.
I picked a guy that doesn't know anything about football. Not that I know a lot, but he picked a bunch of Seahawks, and that's it.
Okay. He picked with his heart.
Right. He did.
Okay. Yeah. I love this fantasy football contest because Thrill and I am not sure know what's going on with our team.
You guys don't even remember to take guys out when they're injured.
Mike put me in charge of ours, and we're just kicking ass.
You guys are crushing
I'm on that all the time. That's all I do.
It's like I said on your show. Don't count on Thrill and I to be like the tech guys on the.
So I guess your team finished last.
Yeah, it's very apparent again.
On the fantasy football challenge. So once again. Steve, you will do this week's Ted versus the FCC. And as Ted duly noted before we started the segment, you, in fact, will put losses in his loss column on the overall total of the year.
Much like Danny's doing to you.
Right. I kind of forgot about that.
This crap is rolling downhill fast.
Yes.
Mike, what is my record? Am I still over 500?
Ooh, that's a good question, Ted.
Because
you
I
are 19 and 13 on the year.
All right. Okay. All right.
19 and 14 is still respectable.
Well, I won Rob tickets on your show. How about we do a little win for Ted?
I'll try.
Thanks.
As we said, lo and behold, we got a listener submitted Ted versus the FCC. So, Steve, once again, you'll be taking on a listener who goes by the name of Joe. This is an oldie but a goodie as far as the content. It is a Ted versus the FCC based on the television show The Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, yeah. Goes in the way back.
Exactly. Good old boys.
That's it.
No harm.
This
all
week's...
you ever saw been in trouble with the law.
Who was that, Merle Haggard?
They were born.
Was that Merle?
Flatten the hill.
That's just a little bit more than Love Hill.
Right.
I don't know who sang it.
I think it was Merle Haggard.
Was it him?
I believe it was Merle Haggard.
He also narrated the show, right? All them Duke boys are getting close.
Yeah, I used to have a bunch of country stars back in the day that would sing the themes.
Waylon Jennings.
Oh, yeah.
Waylon Jennings.
Waylon
Close
Jennings.
enough. Close enough. Same dude. Same guy.
Different name, same guy.
Same
Yeah.
guy. Same guys. Drank whiskey, smoked cigarettes. Okay, this week's Ted versus the FCC goes something like this. Bo and Luke sniff Daisy Duke's cute, quaint cut constantly, while Boss Hogg and Uncle Jesse molest Cooter's cut from heinous anus. The way that we do Ted versus the FCC.
You gotta be kidding me.
Is you need to read that one
You
time.
didn't see that episode?
Then 3 times
Come
fast.
on, Steve. Spoiler alert, I have it on my DVR.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
DVR.
All right. So I just start up?
You start it one time through.
One time through,
Then
then
we'll go
3
3
times fast. Bo and Luke sniff Daisy Duke's cute, quaint cut constantly while Boss Hogg and Uncle Jesse molest Cooter's cut from heinous anus.
3 times fast.
Bo and Luke sniff Daisy Duke's cute, quaint cut constantly while Boss Hogg and Uncle Jesse molest Cooter's cut from heinous anus.
1.
Bo and Luke sniff Daisy Duke's cute, quaint cut constantly while Boss Hogg and Uncle Jesse molest Cooter's cut from heinous anus.
2.
Bo and Luke sniff Daisy Duke's cute, quaint cut constantly while Boss Hogg and Uncle Jesse molest Cooter's cut from heinous anus.
Oh, man. God damn them Duke boys. There's a win in Ted versus the FCC.
That quaint cut part was very scary.
Shot of the day's coming up. You are listening to the Minute.
At Lovers, you can get what you really want this holiday, a perfect pleasure present. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and pick up something indulgent for yourself. Lovers has lingerie, toys, and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Amazon fall favorites are here to make you say, with low prices on home, beauty, and fashion brands like Amazon Essentials. So hold on to your pumpkin spiced whatevers and save on fall favorites at Amazon.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Life can be hectic, and managing your mental health is more important today than ever before. That's why Mindful Therapy Group's mission is to take the pain out of finding a therapist. Whether you need talk therapy, psychological testing, even medication management, Mindful has you covered. Our mental health providers are here for you with both in-person and telehealth options to get you seen in as little as 48 hours. Mindful Therapy Group also accepts insurance. Join us to start your journey to a healthier and happier you. Visit mindfultherapygroup.com to get started today.
Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal. Actor portrayal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How did you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow, Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just go to their website.
Go to unlock.com/radio to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Pay off debt, improve your home, add to your retirement fund. It's up to you. Go to unlock.com/radio right now to see if you qualify to unlock the value in your home. That's unlock.com/radio. Go to unlock.com/radio.
Room.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up in just minutes, we'll drink a toast of the weekend with the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check on Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Well, thank you, Miles. Teen smoking and tobacco use have dropped to their lowest level in 25 years.
Good.
Amen to that, man.
Look, I'm a smoker. If you're listening to me, don't do it. My son asked me a couple of months ago, and I hate this question as a parent, right? And I'm a smoker, whatever. Go outside and do my cigarette. He's out there talking to me about whatever we're talking about. And finally he goes, Dad, why do you smoke? And I looked him dead in the eye. And I said, because I'm effing stupid. But it hit him. I said, that's it. I said, man, you can do anything you want in your life. You're going to F up. You're going to go your own way. Promise me you will not do this.
I don't think I have met a smoker in my life that has encouraged anybody to pick up the habit.
I don't encourage anyone to pick up smoking. It's a horrible habit, and I know that. That said, as a smoker, as a veteran smoker, I truly enjoy the moments that I smoke. But unlike celebrating a birthday party where that's fun too, it's an addiction.
We're celebrating drinkers in this room, and to a degree, we're all a little bit addicted to the drink.
Just a wee bit.
But it's a fun thing, and at least in moderation, we're okay with whatever. Smoking, I understand you enjoy it. That's why you do it, is because you do enjoy it. And to some degree, it's like, I really kind of need to go enjoy myself right now. But at the same token, like I said, I haven't heard a single one that hasn't said, doggone it, I don't wish anybody to get off.
It's like doing drugs, man. I mean, like, I enjoy smoking because I've trained my brain to make it that I enjoy smoking. We do drink a lot. Earlier this week, kind of wanted to go to the bar. Me and my wife both did, but dealing with the kids, we didn't go to the bar, but you don't have, like, an alcohol fit.
Yeah.
I still went outside and smoked.
A strong urge, but not a fit.
We just didn't drink anything that night.
What do you think it is, though? Is it like people don't smoke indoors anymore? Is it the conscious effort to, like, get it out of TV and movies?
I think a lot of it is, honest to God, the fact that they get it out of TVs and movies, sponsorships, etc. That's one. So kids
and it's
just don't hear that it's sponsored
for
by.
Decades.
And you're outside, because anytime I smoke, I own my home. I still go outside to smoke. It's this thing where you separate yourself from the pack. And kids, look, man, say what you want about kids. They're so stupid now. They're not. But they understand the dangers of it. So their perspective is like, one, I don't see a lot of people doing it. The people I do see do it fictionally generally are the bad guys. Right?
Sure.
That's not something you want to do. And it's not just pervasive advertising.
That's also something that as kids sell, like you used to sell porn, right?
Yeah.
It's also not.
God, you make me sound bad, but you're right.
No, I mean, but now they have that. So that's there.
Right.
But with cigarettes, there's no market for it. If you could go and readily get them and buy it, you have a better chance of stealing a bottle from your parents' house than them being smokers.
Right.
Or whatever you're going to do.
Yep, that's true.
You want to smoke weed or whatever you want. I just feel like cigarettes are like, it's not worth being attainable.
It's not worth it, and you're going to spend your money there.
Right. If I have a fake ID, I would rather get a 6-pack of beer or some White Claws if I'm a kid.
Than a pack of smoke.
Then a pack of smokes don't matter.
Well, and I know growing up myself, smoking was one of those things that was demonized, and I know that people get drawn to different things for different reasons. I'm not going to talk about all that, but I do know that smoking was one of those things where if a cigarette was ever offered to me, there was a barrier. There was like, there is nobody telling me anything good about that, including the people that use it.
There's no buzz.
And that's the thing. Yeah. I try to reinforce that with the kids. I'm like, look, I'm a smoker because I effed up, and here I am, right? But they understand that because the way they perceive me anyway, it's like, look, man, I don't sweat anything, and do not tell me there's anything that cannot be done, right? I stand by that. However, with smoking, Dad's going to have a cigarette, right? And that's a sign of weakness, and it's the truth.
Bizarrest thing ever. I go to bed every night. I try to sleep about 7-8 hours. I wake up in the morning. I smoke a cigarette. First thing I do, it's not a big deal. I use the bathroom. Get a cup of coffee. In those 8 hours, I don't crave a cigarette. If I get on a plane for 5 hours,
oh man,
when I get off that plane, I need a cigarette. And when I do smoke it, I get the biggest buzz ever. Now, when I wake up in the morning, I don't really get a buzz from a cigarette.
It's part of your habit.
It's just like something mental is going on as well.
I do think the indoor thing helped too. Because when I was a bartender, like, we would smoke cigs just to pass the time.
Reduces the frequency.
And I do that now, but you're right. You got to go outside to do it. And actually, a texter says, look, I'm a smoker. Smoking cigarettes was the one thing I told my daughter, do not start. Told her I started because my friends and I...
that's exactly... You're exactly right. And I told my daughter the same thing.
A lot of people, and some they're checking in now, kids are now vaping. I get that, man.
But they also say teen smoking, so I think that includes vaping. You're right, kids are vaping, for sure.
You
That's
did say
their thing.
tobacco use is way down, but, like, vaping and like Zins don't count because they're just nicotine.
Correct.
Right. So
are we robbing Peter to pay Paul?
But again, they differentiate between teens smoking and tobacco use.
Okay.
So
no, but Ted
I don't
makes
know
a
if
good
it is
point,
just cigarettes or if
which
it's
I
like dip or if it is that.
But I think it's this too, because Ted made a good point. And I'm thinking about it now. Like, look, kids will vape, and I don't encourage that either. But kids will vape, but it's the nicotine.
Yeah.
So you can be addicted to anything. Like I said, the reason they don't make caffeine illegal is because everyone enjoys coffee and Coca-Cola, right? But with smoking, it's what it does to your lungs. So you can be addicted to nicotine. People accept addiction. They don't want you to pollute your lungs with your addiction.
There you go. I actually had a very good friend of mine get off of smoking. He said he was out smoking in the yard one day, and he turned around and he saw his daughter inside. You know, as kids do, they get into stuff, and she was old enough to walk around and talk, but not enough to really know better. And he saw that she was getting into his cigarette. So he goes inside, and she has a cigarette in her mouth, and she says, "Look, Daddy, I'm you." That was the end of it. That was the last day he smoked. Right
I
there
should have had that moment. I would say one of the more bone and soul-crushing moments of my parenthood. I think my son was 3 or 4 years old, but I'm outside smoking, and both kids are out chatting to me about whatever. And, you know, like anything, little kids, they always want to impress their parents. They want to make sure they're loved, right? By the way, if you're listening and you're a child, your parents will love you, trust me. But my son, he points at the ashtray, there's a couple of crumpled up butts, and he goes, I love these things.
Oh.
And I mean, dude, aside from having your soul ripped out and then pooped on by Satan, I kind of got up in his ass about that. I said, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
This is your dad's
But
enemy.
he didn't even know.
He didn't know, but that's why it really hit me.
We're going to build this into the foundation here.
Yeah.
I got to move on. 1 in 4 people think that they'd fail their driving exam if they took it today.
I believe you.
Yeah. Seeing you out on the road, I believe it.
No, I don't believe that.
No?
No. Because I got a motorcycle endorsement. Basically, I had to do everything over again as far as the written and all that. And I think that hopefully you should be able to pass that. And if not, again, you should not be on the road. Yeah. I mean, that's basically all it is.
But I think, like a lot of things, you know how to pass the test, but once you get the license to do whatever it is you want to do, you can do what you want.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Miles, too, because I physically lost my ID. So, like 10 years ago, I had to retake the test. Both of them.
Right.
Okay.
Written and driving.
Huh. All right.
The written part was much harder than the driving.
It is, dude. When
absolutely
they make the questions, they purposely write those damn things to be confusing.
On the road, you know I'm going to do what I can to protect myself.
Right.
Well, it's guaranteed. It's survival instinct. But when you ask me a direct question, like, I don't actually know. By the way, Mike, just real quick, someone, I like it. We're talking about the smoking thing, drinking, whatever. Someone says here, I read about the negative effects of drinking. And that's when I quit reading.
A new study found that too many toys can be bad for kids. Don't ask me why. I'm not working on it. Give your kids toys. That's all I'm going to say there. Does anybody here in this room know what happened on this day in 1876?
1876. It was the 100-year anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
You're off by a few months.
Few months, damn it.
It's
I was just
October.
thinking 76.
No, I got you, man.
1867. Sorry, I said the wrong one. I said the wrong.
Oh, well, that changes everything.
1867.
Oh, I know. Yeah. We bought Alaska.
Bam! We bought Alaska.
Ted.
Bought Alaska.
Ted
What a
Smith.
deal.
Seward's Folly. Let's learn.
The Men's Top 10. The Men's Top 10.
10 fun facts about Alaska. Seward's Folly. Andrew Johnson's Polar Bear Garden. Clearly, without Alaska, we wouldn't have Alaska Airlines. And we'd all be stuck flying bitch on Frontier or Pan Am. Though, I did like the saucy outfits those Pan Am minxes wore. Oh, well, hello, kitten. Yes, I would like another old-fashioned. Say, speaking of old-fashioned, what do you... Anyway, Alaska. I remember I was contracted by the state of Alaska to serve as a resident doctor in a quirky little town named Roslyn. About the only thing it had going for it was a decent bar and a fetching female bush pilot named Maggie. Oh, Maggie. That grudge sex could make a polar bear blush. Positive Friday.
You don't believe him, Ted?
I mean, that's good. I just sound like, wait a minute.
He had to come in and explain that one to me.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was like,
All right.
did you get that? I was like, No, I didn't.
Northern exposure.
Northern exposure. So these are some things that you didn't know about our friends up in Alaska. I don't have a whole lot of time here, but the state sport of Alaska. Anybody know?
Dog sledding.
Dog mushing.
Yep.
Absolutely
All right.
correct.
Mushing.
Alaska actually means the Great Land.
Okay.
Well, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Let's see here. The nation's two largest forests are located in Alaska.
I can believe that.
Largest mountain in North America?
This actually doesn't shock me. Alaska has no poison ivy or poison oak.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot grows up
too cold, man.
That's right. Alaska is seismically active.
Yes.
Yeah, like all the time.
Yeah. So some things that you might not have known about Alaska. About 3% of Alaska is covered by glaciers.
Only 3?
Only 3%.
Wow. Okay.
In fact, most U.S. glaciers are up in Alaska.
That I believe.
I think the other one is in Glacier National Park.
If it's still there.
Should be.
Yeah.
Alaska has coastlines on 3 different seas.
It does.
Bering, Arctic, and
The big one.
what?
Pacific.
Oh, that's the ocean.
The Arctic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and the Bering Sea.
You said sea.
I
You're
know.
a liar.
I know.
You're a liar, Mike.
I'm reading the thing.
3 C's means your report card sucked.
Yeah. Or in my case, awesome.
Yeah, you're eligible.
Alaska is 14.2% native.
Aleutian.
Water.
Oh. It's probably higher.
Alaska actually has more coastline than the rest of the U.S.
True.
Combined.
Yeah.
You just can't swim.
Yeah.
You
that's a
can.
good
You're going to
point.
freeze to death and die.
Right.
I mean, I was in the
Fine.
Sound last weekend, but Alaska, I might have to actually think about it before I hop in.
Yes, you should think about it before you hop in.
That's a true polar bear plunge there, dogs.
Yeah. I'd probably do it if it was sunny.
There are more than 3,000 rivers and 3 million lakes in Alaska.
Wow. 3 million.
They have more than 100 volcanoes and volcanic fields. They're just a bustling metropolis up there. But then the number one fact that you might not have known about Alaska on this here, the day that we bought Alaska about in 1867.
Suck it up, Cupcake.
It's home to 17 of North America's tallest mountains. You're absolutely right there, Miles. 17 of the tallest mountains.
It is a kind of a fascinating place, man. It is. Just based on the rest of the U.S., we got all this stuff going on. You go to Alaska, there's Anchorage. Yes, there are other cities, and then there's nothing.
I do want to get up there.
Yeah, you look at people, every single person go, what are you running from?
Who's looking for you?
A county in New Jersey was left without power, but they've actually figured out who the culprit was, Miles.
Who was the culprit?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, we made it to the weekend and drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Great time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting. Yes, indeed, and today we toast the Shio Meisha SeaWorld of Shenzhen, China. Now, earlier this month, the aquatic park reopened its gates to visitors after a 5-year hiatus for renovations. Now, the 180,000 square foot marine park, it attracted 100,000 paying customers in its first week alone. But that financial success, it was overshadowed by the fact that this is an animal display in China. Now, for some context, you may remember that a few weeks ago, Zoom came under fire when their pandas were revealed to be dogs that were painted black and white. Or the lion, that was a long-haired dog shaved to have the appearance of a mane. Or the donkeys that were painted with stripes and advertised as zebras. Or the sun bear, that was a dude in a costume. Or the penguin display made up entirely of inflatable penguins. Or the plastic leopard. Or the fox that they passed off as a leopard. Or the rats, most impressively, that they tried to pass off as snakes. Now, the Shio Meisha SeaWorld, it has been caught with getting a lot of heat because the giant whale shark, super impressive, that's at the aquarium, is a life-size robotic whale shark. Dude, they were hoping no one... Listen, it is a robot. To be fair, as far as robotics go, it's kind of impressive when you look at it. The issue that people had is they didn't tell anyone that it's robotic. So these people went to the aquarium. One of the main attractions was, in fact, the whale shark, and people are like, that's a freaking robot. They did admit to us, it is a robot. So understand, at the time that it was open to the public, they apparently had a whale shark. In the 5 years since, when they did the renovations, a new law came down in China where you can't have something like a whale shark in the aquarium. Most people did not know that law had passed. The aquarium chose not to share that with people and tried to fool them with the whale shark. Look, at this point, honest to God, I want to go to China just to visit zoos. I just want to see the animals they try to pass off as other animals because on some level it's more interesting. Quick thing to the National Zoo in D.C. Make sure the real pandas that they just sent there. Good idea. That's all I'm going to say. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy. Yummy. So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
Saturday, Men's Room Mystery, Dealer's Choice, Bad Choice Friday. Today, we each picked an individual song.
Yes.
No one knows what each individual member of the show has picked.
Nobody knows.
You just go and you pick the member of the show that you trust to bring you a decent song at 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, how was the voting?
An amazing, unfathomable one-sided battle.
Okay, all right, okay, before we get there, what were the other people's choices?
Coming in fourth place with 12%, the people that actually believed that I would put on a good song, so I present to you all a little bit of Blue Suede, Hooked on a Feeling.
Hooked on a feeling.
That would have been a great tune.
You'd have gotten less if you put it out there.
Oh, it's a great song, Mike.
I told you all this was a good song. I was going to set
And
you
you
all
only
up
got
on a Friday.
12% of the vote.
I got 12% of the doggone
Who came in
voting.
third?
It's not fair, man. Coming in third place, Miles, you're right there with me, buddy, at 19% of the vote. And we missed out on some cowboys.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
All right. Go get it, man.
But this is where things took a little bit of a turn. You see, it got a little bit more heated than that. As we move on over to our third place, which, Ted, you put up a good fight, my man, but you just couldn't keep up. So we missed out on. Hang on, I have to see who in the hell did this song.
So Ted's in second place.
Yeah. Right. Do you guys remember Fernando Rodney, formerly of the Mariners?
The closer?
Sure.
Closer. Always shot the arrows whenever he
he
won.
had the hat kind of cocked to the side a little bit.
Well, he had a great walkout song. You all missed out on a techno dream not voting for Ted
Don't
Smith.
take your E yet.
I'll tell you what, Martin Garrix came out at the end of that F1 race last year, and I about lost it.
Is that a song?
Yeah, it's called Animals.
Okay.
Yeah, but I really like him as a DJ.
So
I was like, he sounds like he's here.
Sounds like Thrill won.
Thrill did indeed win. And so now, to grace your ears,
Because they know that's right. It's funky.
I'm bringing you all some Commodores for a bad choice.
Oh! Welcome to the weekend. Nice pick, man.
Yeah.
You are listening to the Men's Room, 99.9 KISW, Seattle.
At Lovers, you can get what you really want this holiday, a perfect pleasure present. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and pick up something indulgent for yourself. Lovers has lingerie, toys, and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Amazon fall favorites are here to make you say, with low prices on home, beauty, and fashion brands like Amazon Essentials. So hold on to your pumpkin spiced whatevers and save on fall favorites at Amazon.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Getting help for mental health shouldn't be as hard as it is. Thankfully, Mindful Therapy Group is here to make your mental health journey as painless as possible. Be seen in as little as 48 hours for in-person or telehealth appointments. Mindful partners with thousands of licensed clinicians to find the perfect fit for you. Whether you need talk therapy, psychological testing, even medication management, Mindful has you covered. Mindful Therapy Group also accepts insurance, so you can focus on you and not your wallet. Visit mindfultherapygroup.com to get started today.
Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal. Actor portrayal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How did you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow, Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just go to their website.
Go to unlock.com/radio to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Pay off debt, improve your home, add to your retirement fund. It's up to you. Go to unlock.com/radio right now to see if you qualify to unlock the value in your home. That's unlock.com/radio. Go to unlock.com/radio.
We know what they really want this holiday. The perfect pleasure present from Lovers. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and grab something to satisfy yourself, too. Lovers has all the toys and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for the hottest holiday gifting. Mention presents for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday gifts for the kids, like arts, crafts, games, and tech. You'll have money left over for some new board games to boost the kids' confidence. You won again. Or that multi-voice changing megaphone so you can really spread the cheer.
Happy holidays.
Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Now for all TV news all the time, it is time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the men's room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, so this time of year, I always go on and on, right? Best time of year. Look, I'm already kind of sad about football.
You just said it's the best time of year, and you followed it up with it. Now I'm kind of sad.
Yeah, I like football so much. I heard somebody being like, "Wow, there's only 8 games left." I was like, "So good."
Okay, you know what? You look at the records. Yeah, I did the same thing. Like, really?
Well, an NFL keeps rolling, but when you're a college football nut like I am, it's just like you got this weekend, next weekend, but you forget 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, so having full slate of Saturday games is awesome.
Yeah.
Also, you would never need to know this if you ever see Florida. Or not Florida. If you ever see Tennessee and Alabama playing, it's the 3rd week of October. They always do it.
Ted, I don't know if you're pathetic, if you're scary, if you're wonderful, but you're all of those things just with that one statement. You are all of those things.
This is the F1 racer song.
Who would know that? I have Willow.
So, it's either all pathetic. What was I going to say? But also, like I started with, great time of year. So besides football, college football, again, you have baseball. You have the NLCS and you have the ALCS. So yesterday on these very airwaves, I was talking about the Yankees. It's like, they're gonna sweep Cleveland. Cleveland doesn't have a chance. Cleveland was down. It looked like that game was over. Yep. They had an amazing comeback last inning. Couple home runs, home run to end the game, and just listen to the sounds and tell me this isn't exciting.
Yankees a strike away. Thomas drills one into deep left center field. Judge is on the run. He looks up. It's off the top of the 19-foot wall. Tying run will come to the plate once again. Oh my goodness! Big Christmas has tied it! John Kinsey Noel! The biggest swing of his life. 2 outs. Bottom of the 10th. Fry. Deep drive.
Damn.
Left field. Fry's watching. It is a walk-off home run. David Fry lights up the Cleveland night.
I will die on this hill. There is nothing that beats the pop of a major crowd, a stadium full of people, when something phenomenal like that happens. There is no sound.
I agree.
I make fun of Cleveland all the time. It's the mistake by the lake and this and that. Earlier in the office today, I go, Miles, you got to watch this. This is a guy with his camera phone. He's got to be, what would you say, Miles? At least 3 blocks away from the stadium.
He's farther than that.
3 blocks.
No,
well, he's probably farther than that.
No, he can't. I mean, he is probably a quarter mile.
All right.
Half mile away.
But you hear it. Just go, if you go on any social media, you could find it. So he's just got his camera out there, and you hear the stadium. You can hear the crack of that bat.
Yes.
And then
that.
When that stadium goes electric, they're shooting off fireworks. I mean, look, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it again. I hate Cleveland. No reason to care for the Guardians, but just being a sports person, and Mike's right, like just that excitement and everything. You're just like, God, that's fun.
Well, I will say, when you legitimately don't have a horse in the race, right? So Super Bowl, World Series, neither team's your team. Maybe you're leaning one way or another. When there is that moment and you hear the crowd respond like that, there is something about that that's so infectious.
I don't hate Cleveland. I would say this. I root for the underdog in those situations where you don't have a horse in the race.
Sure.
Correct.
So you expect the Dodgers to be there, the Yankees. The Guardians, good for them. But to be able to do that and hopefully get some momentum, and I'd rather see them there than the usual.
Yes.
That's why I was so happy when the Astros were kicked out.
Yeah, and I think it's natural. I mean, I think combat sports could be a little different because usually it's just two men or women.
Yeah.
So you could cheer for the favorite, and sometimes I will cheer for a favorite just because did a math background. Like nobody cheers for us unless you went there.
Always.
So right, but Miles is right. Generally, you watch the underdog. I mean, hell, you watch some college football games, and you're just like, like Vanderbilt. I have no ties to Vanderbilt.
Ooh, that was weird, Ted. I was down in kind of
Alabama. When they beat Alabama, you're damn right. I was sitting on my couch like, "Come on, Vandy."
I was in Floribama or whatever they call that at that time. When that game went down.
Yeah.
And Ted,
those people had to be pissed.
There were a group of people that were on one side, and 2 people were crying. All right.
Yeah.
So those were all obviously the Alabama fans. All the other fans were Georgia fans, Florida State fans, Florida fans, Georgia State fans.
Of course.
And they were absolutely losing their mind and just taunting at this other group across the bar because Vandy had that long pass in the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And they, at the other side, they lost it. It was crazy.
Yeah. And I will say, I think music wise, you follow a band around. Part of it is just the scene. You know what I mean? Like, look, you go to a Pearl Jam show, right? There's people that have seen 20 some shows. Dead Company, Fish, anything. Like you follow the scene, and it is special sometimes when you see them at a certain spot or this or that. But it also just happens more. Yeah. Whereas like sports, like there's no guarantee your team's going to be good, right? Like these moments are exciting, and frankly, like there's zero you can do about it.
Also, those people are also Browns fans. So they need some help.
Yeah, they're definitely cheered.
Right, like this weekend, right? The Sounders, decision day, the Sounders are going to host the Timbers. Like, that's going to be an awesome event. People are going to be pumped,
Specifically because of the teams, right? It gets a lot more intense, man.
I did mention, I just can't get over this. I was telling Mike, and bring it back to rock music a little bit. I was telling you in Austin, they keep talking about the biggest weekend ever.
Biggest weekend ever, Ted.
Right.
Ever.
So at the racetrack, if you had tickets today to go watch practice and stuff for F1, then you get to watch Sting.
And if they have any opinion,
Sting.
Oh, Sting.
And then tomorrow, after you watch practice, you get to watch Eminem. And at the same day, across the street at the stadium, you have number 5 Georgia playing number 1 Texas.
Yeah, that's a huge game, man.
2 A-balls. Not 1, 2 A-balls.
Even if you do not like college football, that's a game worth watching. It's kind of like the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
You don't follow NFL all season, whatever, but you understand on this day it's fun, and you'll pay a little attention to the TV to see what's going on. This game is that, not just because of the ranks, but because of who they are, and they're playing each other. Like, this is a game to watch.
Yeah, and I'm not a massive fan of all these crazy, massive conferences, but credit to college football in the fact that, like, you have these massive matchups, and I think even a casual college football fan nowadays is like, oh, man, I actually got to sit down and watch that game, or at least keep an eye on the score.
Do you think that's what's going to change people's perception of the massive conferences? Right? Because, like you said, like, it sucks because there's 800 teams in this conference, but these teams that don't normally play each other, you are now actually rivals.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, there's always going to be chaos because it's college football. So as much as I love it, they screw everything up. They can never get everything correct. So, like, there's going to be chaos at the end of the season on who gets in, 12 teams, blah, blah, blah. But I do think it'll help. For instance, I have a few friends that work at sports radio, and I always give them a hard time. You don't talk enough about college football. And they're like, people really care about baseball and NFL. Yeah. But now that you have these super conferences, they're like, oh, we can actually talk about it more.
Yep.
Because, like I said, there's a lot of people that just watch pro that are now going, well, I got to see this Texas-Georgia game.
You do. You do. Watch it.
Let's see. Speaking of that, if you're a Cougs fan, well, first of all, if you're a Huskies fan, thank God you got a week off. That was bad in Iowa.
The pain ends.
Yeah. If you're a Coug, they're playing Hawaii tomorrow. You're gonna have to mess around on the internet to find that one. That's up to you. I put that on you. We talked.
It's at 12:30 on CW.
Yeah. Is it on CW?
It is.
Oh, good. All right, my bad.
We got you,
my
man.
bad, Cougs. I read it wrong. I thought you had to have some streaming service. There you go. So just turn on the CW. It's on your Xfinity.
Thank you, Tim.
I was gonna say Georgia, Texas. That's 4:30 p.m. SNL. Beetlejuice himself, Michael Keaton, is hosting. Billie Eilish is the musical guest.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you want to
Michael
watch
Keaton, not Eilish. Although, quick thing, Billie Eilish, when she hosted, I thought she was phenomenal. She was hilarious on SNL.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to the Men's.
At Lovers, you can get what you really want this holiday, a perfect pleasure present. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and pick up something indulgent for yourself. Lovers has lingerie, toys, and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday gifts for the kids, like arts, crafts, games, and tech. You'll have money left over for some new board games to boost the kids' confidence.
You won again.
Or that multi-voice changing megaphone so you can really spread the cheer.
Happy holidays.
Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, our top story. We go to New Jersey, where crews put the work in to restore power. At around 9 in the morning, customers all over Monmouth County, I hope I said that right, were suddenly left without power. Crews arrived at the facility to investigate and quickly found their culprit, a squirrel that had managed to get into the wrong area and shut the power off. Reached his little hands up there.
Little Jersey squirrel.
Yeah.
How to shut off your power.
Just kidding.
Hey, you ain't got no power no more.
Yeah.
They worked for several hours and everyone got their power back by the early afternoon. The squirrel, shocker, sadly did not leave the facility after the incident.
Oh,
You ever,
that sometimes happens.
I have seen, it took us a minute to figure it out. I'm a teenager. I can't remember. We were visiting someone's house anyway, and me and my buddies, and there is a squirrel in the middle of the street, clearly dead, but it was hairless. And we could not figure out for the life of us. We're like,
Oh, he
what?
gets
in
zapped.
Yeah, we finally pieced it together.
Oh,
like,
man.
Oh,
They blow a transformer. You
Yeah,
got it from
man.
blocks away.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
Don't have power for blocks away.
It gets wild, man. In other news, to Singapore for one that just pisses me off, but where someone really isn't in the Halloween spirit. Someone out on a walk passed by a home that was already decorated up for the spooky season and decided to take a picture of the display that they had set up. The display featured a graveyard that was clearly marked for people's house pets and came complete with several graves that had been filled and marked with sweet pet names, including one that was still open and a red light emanating from it. This whole display had the desired effect on this passerby, as she didn't like it one bit.
Oh, come on.
She posted a photo of the decor and voiced her concern as if this was even appropriate given that it's not even Halloween yet.
it's October, dummy.
And wonders if it's even legal, as the graveyard seems to imply bloody violence towards animals.
Has she ever seen a movie?
They also noted how the graveyard is labeled, splattered with blood, in the words, Pet Cemetery.
Like the movie, like the book.
Like the book.
Like Stephen King.
Even the remake of the movie that was based on the book. And it's Halloween.
No word if anyone agreed with her take on the post.
No, look, man. I mean, just driving into work today. There's some creepy-looking Halloween decorations out there. One house in particular I thought did a great job. And it was actually creepy, but by no means does anyone find it upsetting.
No.
I mean, if,
it's Halloween.
Look, if you do it in the lobby of a veterinary clinic, that might be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Right.
But otherwise...
And it's like, it's a ripoff of a doggone movie.
That's probably why he even took the time to write Pet Cemetery.
Right.
Just so you can make the connection.
Big, bold letters. Like, okay, the Halloween season's not for you. Don't take anything from anything here, because
Right,
you
it's
clearly
fine.
don't know anything about the culture, which is fine. Just be upset for 2 months, okay?
And this is a perfectly acceptable time of the year to be able to start putting that stuff out.
Yes.
Sometimes, like, if a radio station starts playing Christmas music right now, I want to punch him.
Yeah.
But this
Right.
is okay.
This is halfway
This
through
is-
the month of
this is
October.
in the window of acceptability.
Right, this
It's
is
October 18th.
This is thriving Halloween time.
Jesus, man. What is wrong
It's not
with
even
people?
Halloween yet. Like, you want them to pull it out, like, in 2 weeks?
Okay, tell her, put up your Christmas tree Christmas Day.
God, for real.
Right? If that's the case.
I guarantee you, November 1st, that Christmas tree's up in her home.
Yeah, I know it is.
Wild story out of Arkansas. A local doctor's medical license has been suspended following allegations of troubling conduct inside his family clinic. A few months ago, the state medical board received a complaint that he was engaging in sexual contact with his staff, who were also his patients. I don't know how that works, but he was also sexually harassing these staff members as well. Security footage was submitted with the complaint that shows the event in which the doctor performed a sex act on a member of his staff.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on. That's all they say? Performed a sex act?
That's what they're saying.
I mean, there's only one.
No, what's the difference between a sex act
he's
and
if he's
a
performing-
sex act to me says it is oral, right?
It's
Correct.
A sex,
That's what I'm
sex
thinking. Is
Sexual
sex.
intercourse is that's sexual
Right, he was having
intercourse.
sex. Right,
He
right.
was performing.
Performing a
Now,
sexual
if you're
act.
performing, you know, hello, my darling, hello. I mean, if you're performing,
Look at me.
There's only one thing that could be.
But he was doing this to a member of his staff, with other staff members present and watching.
Well, I mean, if they're watching and not complaining.
And then he proceeded to walk about his clinic naked.
Family
Which-
family doctor.
A family doctor.
Family doctor.
His license was suspended and an investigation is underway. Look, I parade around my house after I do the deed. But, you know, it is how it is. But just in case those stories left a bad taste in your mouth,
Thankfully, there's
Like
good
him.
news.
we take to the skies for a sweet story. In preparation for the ensuing hurricane, animal shelters in the area were also evacuated, taking the future pets to different shelters around the country to continue their search for their forever homes. One such shelter was due to make the long journey from Florence, South Carolina to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is where our story takes place. During the flight, the pilot met a small kitten by the name of Avery, and the two instantly bonded.
Oh.
Avery?
Avery.
Hell, there's a cat Avery. Huh?
Well, you know, it's also now on a plane.
Wait a
It's
minute, hold on.
Avery.
Oh,
It's
okay,
Avery.
I
I
adopt
got
a cat, I'm going to call it whatever the hell I want.
Well, of course that.
Yeah.
But that led the captain to adopt Avery and take him home for himself. They say it was love at 30,000 feet.
He's part of the Mile High Club.
Gotta love it, man. I gotta love it. Mile High Club. It's a cat, man. Come
So,
on.
he's
Well,
a
what else do you call it?
He's a Southwest pilot, correct?
Yes.
Is that what they said? Does that mean when the rescue animals board the plane, they can sit wherever they want?
You just leave them free in the back.
Do they get in those lines, do you think, and get their number called?
Which section is
And then they pick, I know they're going to pick the window seat.
Cats are for sure.
Men's Room Sports, handful of college football games on tonight over on ESPN channels, Fox and CBS, and playoff baseball on TBS. Game 4 between the Yankees and Guardians is currently underway. Tomorrow, we got college ball all day long on ESPN, CBS, Fox, and ABC. Hawaii is in Pullman taking on the Cougs tomorrow at 12:30 on CW11. And then you've got Game 5 in the ALCS between the Yankees and Guardians at 5 p.m. on TBS. The Sounders are also home against Portland, taking on the Timbers at 6 p.m. on Apple TV. And your Seattle Kraken, after handling the Flyers with an impressive 4-6 win last night. It was a great game. They'll host Calgary Flames at 7 p.m. over on Kong, and that's tomorrow. Then on Sunday, we've got another early NFL game at 6:30 over on NFL Network between the Pats and the Jags. 2 afternoon games on CBS and Fox, and Sunday Night Football sees the Jets and Steelers in prime time, but at the right time of 10 a.m., your Seattle Seahawks go into Atlanta to take on the strengthening Falcons in a beatdown to break the 3-game losing streak. That'll be on Fox. As far as your weather, cloudy tomorrow, then we can expect some rain both Sunday and Monday, looking at temperatures ranging from the low 60s to the high 40s all weekend long. And that is it for your headlines. With that, have a great weekend. Mike Hawk is out.
Hey, have a good weekend, lovely. Jolene's up next with Disturbed tickets. We do have a special announcement for you Monday at 4:30.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. In the meantime, enjoy your weekend, and, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
At Lovers, you can get what you really want this holiday, a perfect pleasure present. Find a sexy gift for a loved one and pick up something indulgent for yourself. Lovers has lingerie, toys, and accessories for every desire. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Early holiday deals are here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday fashion gifts, like cozy fits and stylish shirts. You'll have money left over for those aviators that make you feel like a maverick. Or that ugly holiday sweater that's, like, really ugly.
OMG, that's, like, really ugly.
Oh, what fun it is to save. Shop early holiday deals now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Getting help for mental health shouldn't be as hard as it is. Thankfully, Mindful Therapy Group is here to make your mental health journey as painless as possible. Be seen in as little as 48 hours for in-person or telehealth appointments. Mindful partners with thousands of licensed clinicians to find the perfect fit for you. Whether you need talk therapy, psychological testing, even medication management, Mindful has you covered. Mindful Therapy Group also accepts insurance, so you can focus on you and not your wallet. Visit mindfultherapygroup.com to get started today.
Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal. Actor portrayal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How did you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow, Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just go to their website.
Go to unlock.com/radio to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Pay off debt, improve your home, add to your retirement fund. It's up to you. Go to unlock.com/radio right now to see if you qualify to unlock the value in your home. That's unlock.com/radio. Go to unlock.com/radio.